toda la noche, no nos queda mucho tiempo más. No quiero perder lo que queda. Seguimos siempre la pasión y confiamos solo en el amor. Yeah. No quiero perder lo que queda. Y más allá, a través de la gran oscuridad, hasta que me convierta en rayos. Y más allá, a través de la gran oscuridad. Y más convierta en rayos. Y más allá, a través de la gran oscuridad. Y más allá. Seremos miles, crecemos en número, en solo un trueno de horizontes. Seremos miles, más allá, a través de la gran oscuridad, hasta que me convierta en rayos. Y más allá, a través de la gran oscuridad. Y más
feet. Stand up, stand up, stand up. Come on, get loose with the heat. Right now, we the party till we black out. So get the fuck up.
Follow your trail and I'm losing your mind and I'm losing your head. Let me escape from this love, cause I'm a prisoner. I just want to look my way and never back to you. I'm not above it. Let me be myself. I'm not above it. Let me be myself. know what we're doing. I'm so about to change this evolution. With you shake the ground, you feel it moving. We're the revolution. Can you give me what I need? Just give me what I want, baby. Can you give me what I need? Just give me what I want. Just give me what I want. Give me what I'm looking for. Just give me what I want, baby. Just give me what I want. Can you give me what I need? Just give me what I want, baby. Can you give me what I need? Just give me what I want. Just give me what I want. Give me what I'm looking for.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Simplay Motorsport for the Pro night tonight. The Pro-Am last night, fantastic racing. What a night. We saw Holty take his first win here at Simplay Motorsport and then took his second win in the feature race last night. And what race it was, up and down the grid. Lots of action and drama. Hopefully we have the same tonight. I'm Matthew Duffin as always, and I'm joined in the commentary box by the regular co-commentator on the Thursday night. I'm joined here by Kelly. Kelly, how are you?
I'm very well, Matthew, and yes, feeling good and feeling excited for this one this evening around the Oulton Park Internationl circuit, and it's 2.6 miles, 17 corners. Looking forward to this. We don't see much motorsport on this configuration of the track. The British touring cars come here every year, as do the F3, British F3 and British Superbikes, but I don't believe, I know the touring cars don't use this configuration, so I'm looking forward to this. I kind of like the full Internationl circuit, as we see already a couple of guys getting a little bit squirrely already. It's a very narrow track here, Matthew, isn't it?
It really is, and as we saw last night, backmarkers proved to be an issue. Nowhere for them to kind of pull off to the side. What are we going to see tonight? It is a very, very narrow circuit. You see Deeks having a little excursion. Well, that's down at Cascades, that.
He's taken his kind of own track there, really. Deeks is having his own. Yeah, it's extremely narrow, as you say, and quick. There's a lack of low-speed corners. Everything is very fast around here. Overtaking is going to be tricky because, again, there's not a great load of opportunities for overtaking. Although Deeks seems to be having trouble there. Has he put ice tyres on or what?
I don't know. He's struggling a bit, isn't he?
He is a little bit, yeah. Probably just struggling to get them up to speed. Let's leave him alone for a while and let's see who else is doing well. They're all keen to get out there and get some practice. And,
we've just got Emo Guy in as well. So that's 15 of the 16 runners. Well, she's running a little late, so glad to see them there. Man on screen, as you've just turned to him, Kelly, obviously promoted from the Pro-Am to the Pro with that 3-spot. Admins took a deciding vote, and the majority vote really was pretty much to get this guy who is quick. He'll be very quick tonight. Everybody needs to be wary of him in the Audi for Simplay Racing. Mazda 917 on the track in the Pro Group, pretty much where he belongs as well, I reckon.
I've seen him do a bit of driving before. I don't think I've commentated on him very often, but I've seen some of his driving before, and he's a quick boy. So I'm expecting to see some good things from him. Incidentally, a friend of mine has just bought one of those R8 Audis.
Oh yeah.
A friend of mine just bought one cheap.
They're nice. I like them.
Yeah, because it was accident damaged and been repaired. I say cheap. I still say cheap. It was still to the tune of £24,000, but like you do, cheap old Audi.
No, that's it. We've also got Monkey Boy in the Pro Group tonight. Don't worry, he's not been promoted. He's just here. The only G has sadly dropped out from this one, focusing on other adventures in his sim career. So we have got Monkey Boy filling in for the only G in the same livery as what you tend to see him in the Pro-Am, but he's filling in for Constructors points only to help out the Forever Forward Racing team. He's part of Forever Forward Racing as well in the Pro-Am category, teaming up with Kieran Argent. Them two are going to switch the roles throughout the rest of the season, score Constructors points for both. Ooh. So he had a really good test last night around the circuit. Bit of weather in the forecast for tonight. Not sure when we may see a bit of that, but that's around. So let's see what happens. Just looking at comments, Liam Gamer, aka That Buzzy Boy, evening to you, evening to Neil, Smithy, Audio Sport. Sorry, good evening to them.
That was me.
That's
actually,
you.
Matt, that's me on my other account, which I didn't swap over. But hello to me.
Hello to you. Evening to Ricky Holt, aka Holty, who took his first 2 wins. JR Sim Racing, come on, Emo Guy, says, and Fury's granddad. Go FU Racing, the Fury crew in the massives here.
As always,
cheering them on. Big shout. I just want to give a shout out to D Biggs here. Not yet put a lap time in, but a very happy birthday to D Biggs on the day of his birthday. What can he do tonight? We'll have to see what he can do, but a happy birthday to him as we're seeing a few early qualifying laps come in. And I tell you what, every time I see him qualify, Gary 131, Mr. Sandbags, I'm going to start calling him. He's not he's not been that quick in practice all week, and then he comes upon the night and he saves the best till the actual event. Fury, good time from him as well. Only half a second off the pole lap at the minute.
Yes, indeed. And we're just here on board with D Biggs, just on his birthday. I think what he's asking for his birthday is a new front end for his Porsche, because that's already smashed up. Look, he's already made a mess of that on his birthday. But Big Boy Brazier's your man going quickest at the moment with a 1:33.1 and
1:32.8. He's just improved.
God, he just went just first man in the 32s. My boy Daniel there is the man in second place.
And you know what? Sorry, go on.
I was just going to tell you the lap record around this international circuit is actually a 1:24.6. So I mean, they're still kind of 8 seconds off that, but it's not a million miles away.
It's not.
That was set in a 1996 British F2, a Reynard Cosworth, driven by Gareth Rees. So they're not a million miles away from that, considering that's a single seater.
That's good effort from these GT3 boys. Evening to Rabbit Joe, aka Joe Colclough. Sorry if I've mispronounced that, Joe. Dean Wasocki and Bethany Anduffin in the chat as well. Guys, 19 people watching, 9 likes. Hit that thumbs up button. Let's get this video to 20 likes minimum before the end of tonight. And I was speaking with Dan the other day, Kelly. Seemed very positive and very uplifted now that he's in a car that he can be competitive in.
Yeah, absolutely, and I think that was we touched on this last time. He's made the move from the Ferrari. Him and Fury have made the move from the Ferrari into the Porsche 911, and they both seem a little bit more comfortable in that car. So we're certainly hoping, or I'm certainly hoping, that Daniel continues to stay at the sharp end a little bit. Now he's in this car. He knows the track. He knows his way around. So
he can show what he can really do as well in this Porsche. I'm just going to quickly go through. As we say that,
he just dropped it. Yeah,
gets a horrible snap coming on the exit of Cascades here. Just going to turn our attention to the Drivers' and Constructors' Championship. 312 points up for grabs for the Drivers' Championships and 552 points, as this first race of the evening is the halfway mark of the season. So still plenty of points up for grabs. But Gary 131 leads the way, 19 points clear of the only G. But obviously with G pulling out, that kind of ruins his title hopes. Big Boy Brazier then in P3 on 37 points behind Gary. Emo Guy in P4 and Andy P5. The Class of 97 Lamborghinis really have looked quite good, but they've gone sort of under the radar. They've kind of gone quietly about their business and picked up good results this season. D-Big sits in P6 with Little Leach 7th. Sutty Apex is 8th with Peaceful Explosion, the man on screen, or was on screen, sorry, on 86 points. Keegs then on 64 with Welshie on 59. The father-son team there. Welshie actually coincidentally in the week, last weekend when the tables went up, Welshie says, put one foot wrong, I'll take your PlayStation off because I'm only 5 points behind you. So no love lost there. AH obviously had to pull out the league a couple of races ago, which is why Mazda has filled in his spot. Phil down on 46, he's back this week. Deeks on 33, Unorthodox 19, Fury on 4, and Mazda on 0. Obviously Fury and Unorthodox dropped their points, as did Deeks and Woshi. Constructors table, Leach Motorsport lead the way by 27 points from Forever Forward Racing, with the Class of 97 Lamborghinis of Emo Guy and Andy P3. Iron Brew Racing A of Jamie and Keegs in P4. Shake and Bake Motorsport, the sole running Porsche of D-Biggs, in P5. Run Flat Racing of Phil and Sutty Apex in P6, with DW Racing, Deeks and Welshie in P7, FU Racing, Fury and Unorthodox in P8, and Simplay Racing on his own at the bottom of the list. No points at the moment. So all to play for. 3 drivers taking their double points tonight. I'm not going to say who until a bit later on, but 3 drivers taking their double points as Mazda and D-Biggs have joined Big Boy Brazier in the 132s, and D-Biggs on his birthday currently on provisional pole.
Yes, indeed. But still with 10 minutes to go, so still all to play for. But these are the first 3 guys now in the 32s, and Mazda's got a penalty already.
Oh, grid penalty for Mazda.
What has he gone and got himself a penalty for?
One place grid penalty, speeding in the pit lane.
Yeah, I don't know what for, but he has got himself a penalty already.
I've lost my leaderboard on the. I've lost the timing screens.
Have I switched something off?
Something's gone off. No, not that one.
Map. We'll have that.
We'll have the track map. There we go. We've got that one back.
Yeah,
we have lost a driver as well, so they've got 10 minutes to get back in. Unorthodox we've lost, so hopefully he can get back into the session. And his game crashed. He's just commented on the stream. His game has crashed. So that is what happened. So Mazda needs pole then to drop to second, start on the front row of the grid. But so far, Monkey Boy, look at that time, a 1:33 dead. Impressive from Monkey Boy today. He's a Pro-Am driver, relegated from Pro last season, struggled in the Acura with Dean Wasaki. He's now getting his chance back in the Pro in the Mercedes-Benz, and can he improve as he's about to cross the line? Not this time around, but a 33 dead, same as Gary. Impressive from the Pro-Am man.
Absolutely, yeah, showing good form indeed. In G's Mercedes, I hope he's left it all set up for him. Maybe that's what's going on. Listen, should we have a fun fact about Oulton Park?
Go on.
And let's see if we're on the same page. This is one of those tracks that's got corners which are named, and turn 12 is Knickerbrook. And Knickerbrook Corner has a little bit of a story. It was named Knickerbrook because when it was there was some demolition work done there many years ago, and when the demolition work was done to uproot a tree, there was apparently some lovers just in the just around that area, and they run off with all the kerfuffle, and they run away and whatever, and it was found that the lady's underwear was left there on the grass verge, just in the brook. So it was called Knickerbrook Corner.
I did not know that one.
There was ladies' underwear found there after they did the demolition work from this couple who run away.
As Unorthodox gets himself back in the session. That's Knickerbrook's just after Hislop chicane, isn't it? It's the little right-hander before you go up the hill. Is Nickelbrook, isn't it? Knickerbrook.
It's turn 12 on the track, so yeah, out the chicane. You come out the second chicane.
Yeah, at the Hislop chicane. Then you got a right-hander just before the uphill section of the circuit. Oh, I didn't know that fact. As Andy, another man into the 132s, goes P2, so knocking Mazda a bit further down the grid here, and that'll put him down into P4 at the moment. Andy, excuse me, can't get my words out. Fantastic qualifying lap from him. He's had a few pole positions and a few good qualifying sessions, has he, this season? And like I say, running P5 in the championship, he's quietly gone about his business to be at the top half of the table. Done absolute bits at the moment. Welshie and Unorthodox and still not got a time in. Dan did have a time, but obviously lost it. It's his game crash, so he needs to get another time in with 7 minutes. Plenty of time to do so.
Absolutely.
Oh, is Andy really pushing the Lamborghini there, losing the rear end. So here we are then. If we jump on board Andy, we'll be able to actually see Knickerbrook now. So we're coming into the Hislop chicane, right then left, is close to Taiwan. So then this is Knickerbrook here, the right-hander here.
This is Knickerbrook right there.
Yeah.
So, the
pair of ladies'
the lovers left in a hurry, and the poor lady left her underwear behind. So, there you go. Was that the fact you were...
That wasn't no, it wasn't a fact. The fact I was on about was a little later in the circuit. In fact, this corner here, it's not really a fact. It was more something that happened, and I don't know if you know about it, or you may know about it, but have forgotten to relay it back to me. As that Buzzy Boy Liam Gamer, Gary sandbagging during qualifying, is he? As Andy goes a 10th faster there. Did take a bit of track limits, to be fair. Well, saying track limits, it is the touring car kind of racing line, but it proves by a 10th to go pole position then. As he returns to the pit lane then. So on board with D-Biggs, the birthday boy needs to find 400ths of a second. What can he do? Anybody else going to join these guys in the 32s? There's a lot of people in the 33s, all the way down from Monkey Boy down to Phil in P11, then Keegs, Deeks and Emo Guy in the 34s. Well, she's only in the 37s at the moment, and Unorthodox yet to set a lap time. But D-Biggs, one thing I want to say about his tyre walls is, although they're immovable on the Project Cars game, on the virtual platform, they're obviously not removable in the real world. We've seen many a driver clatter into the polystyrene or whatever it is, hay bales, whatever they are, that they put there, and wipe them out on the first lap. You do not want to touch them. You want to get as close to them as you can on your lap. You do not want to touch them in the virtual world. It will really damage your car and will really hamper you for the rest of that lap. Obviously, the guys have got to pit at some point of the race, but it will really hurt the car. For those watching, the pit window is lap 8 again, 20-lap race in this one. 5 minutes left of the current qualifying session, and everybody bar Unorthodox has set a lap time.
Yes, and just going back to what you were saying about some of those obstacles, they are, just before we came on air, I went and had a quick whiz around the track, offline on my own game. I whizzed round in a Formula Renault, did a couple of laps just to remind myself of the track, and I hit a couple of those, and they don't say no.
No, they're not very forgiving.
No, not very forgiving, and kind of destroyed my Formula Renault quite nicely. You do want to stay right away from them. I was going to go on board with somebody and do a bit of a track. Where's
Peaceful's coming through.
He's going to, actually, I'll tell you where's Dan? Dan
just gone through turn 1. He's just gone through Old Hall.
Right. So he's right. Not in the place I actually wanted to be.
Where's D-Biggs? Because I think D-Biggs might be coming towards the end of his lap again now, who he was just on board with. No, he's down towards...
no, he's on the chicane.
He's at his lap.
Big boy
Brazier's just come through turn 1, through Old Hall corner.
Right, okay, turn 1. You can run a little bit wide. I don't know where the slowdown is, but there's like some runoff there that the touring car guys use quite a lot to kick up the dirt. He's right down at the bottom on the Internationl bit already, where this is a not quite flat, I don't think, down that left-hander. I like this bit. Cambers in, pulls you in, tucks you round, gives you plenty of acceleration as it spits you out the other side. I like this chicane as well. You can take it quite quickly as long as you're precise. Don't hit that tyre wall, whatever you do, it will stop you. straight away in your tracks. As you can see, the track is not very wide. We come down. This is the Hislop chicane, isn't it? This one
It is,
here. Yeah. So again, reasonably quick. Don't touch that tyre barrier. That is welded to the floor, and will remove your front end of your car quite nicely. Knickerbrook is there. Little bit of runoff there by Jamie. I don't know if you can get away with that. I don't know where the slowdowns are on this and how much you can get away with. Probably the best overtaking opportunity here, but you have to be alongside when you get there. It's usually where the touring cars guys.
He's backed out.
He has. He's backed out and going out again.
He's backed out.
So,
So he came through Druids, and then what you didn't see is him come through Lodge Corner, down through Deer Leap, and back up over the start line. As Dan Davis on
Daniel
Orthodox.
looking at the and got tagged by somebody as well by the looks of it.
Big shunk with somebody there. There's a rear wing. That could be Dan going back into the pits. Where is Dan at the moment? P8 on the qualifying list. And has returned to the pit lane. I noticed when he was going through that lap on the track, Gary went up to P3.
And yes, in the 32s as well. So we've got 5 guys in the 32s. They're the ones who've managed to put it together and doing the quick laps. And then, nearly everybody else in the 33s.
Quite a close bunch, to be fair, though. 2.5 near enough. But, Welshie obviously coming a bit late, so let him get up to grips. He's 4.6 off the leader, but 2.3 seconds separate the top 15 cars. So it's quite a close field for such a tight track. This could be some interesting racing, to say the least.
Yes, and it's going to be. And those guys who, from my own experience, not that that's much to jump up and down about. I'm better in race trim than I am qualifying. I seem to be able to be, I'm more consistent. As we see Peaceful drop it, I want Peaceful to do well tonight. I really do.
We say this every week, don't we? We say that every single week. I think by now we're just more willing him on than cheering him on.
Absolutely, yeah. I just want to see a good result from him one night. I really do. As I was saying, if you're the type of guy who relies on overtaking more than grid position, you're going to struggle tonight because it is going to be it's very tight, very difficult to overtake. Although, on the other hand, I could see that we're going to have a lot of mistakes. So a lot of positions could come to the back. The guys at the back could come into positions just purely through accident and incident, really.
A tip I gave for the younger drivers, Liam Gamer and Rabbit Joe, who's new to sim racing, for the Pro-Am race was it's Monaco without the barriers. It's a track that qualifying is going to matter, but in the race, it's more. The more patient you are, the better your result will be, if that makes sense. The more you can wait and hang back a little bit, the better it'll be. Phil, 3/10 up on his time as he comes through Druids Corner then. Down under Warwick Bridge he goes. He's coming down to Lodge Corner now. Hard on the brakes just at the sign. Want to get the apex, get it turned in. Nicely done. Probably runs a little wide mid-corner. Down through Dearly, back up over the brow of the hill and over the line. What time's he going to do? It'll be his last. And it puts him P10, so he moves up the standings within a second. The top 10 are of each other within a second. So beautiful lap times there. That is Jamie or Keegs. No, that must be Keegs because Jamie's in the pits. Going wide through the Hislop chicane. So Little Each now. Up Clay Hill we go. And he's coming towards Druids Corner. 2/10 up on his time as well. Currently sat P12. Couple of tenths here. And you could be up as far as P7 at the moment. It's that tight between the top 10. Between the top 14.
Sorry, mate. Let's see how he gets on with the last couple of corners. This is one of those tracks, just going back to what you said, patience is a virtue definitely here, because a lot of the corners catch you out. As we see, Little Leach, where does he go? Does he improve on his time? P7, nice.
Good
nice
last
effort.
lap. So the top 11 now separated by 9.5 tenths of a second. And Orthodox is going to cross the line. He's currently down in P9. He moves up into P7. So a lot of times improving. 2 guys left on track on a lap. One of them is not Sooty Apex. He's just returned to pit. Someone's coming into final corner. Is that Emo guy? No, he's done. So that must be Gary. So Gary then, is he going to improve? Can he get pole? No, can't improve there.
No, he can't.
So Gary Andy then will take the first pole position of the night. And for Gary 131, he'll have to settle for third. Mazda, P4, but has picked himself up on his pro. I say his pro debut. He was in the pro category last year. will take a grid penalty then. That's Andy's third pole of the season.
Nice, yes, excellent, excellent showing there from Andy in the 32.5. Yeah, absolutely flying this evening. So poles where you want to be on this track, as we keep saying. It's narrow, it's fast. Being out in front in clear air is going to be the key for sure.
It really is. Andy then, the man on pole with D Biggs on his birthday, only 0.04 of a second behind him, not a lot separating them two at all. Gary 131 P3 with Mazda 4th. He'll then drop to 5th place, and Big Boy Brazier promoted to 4th. Monkey Boy filling in for the only G, and I tell you what, not a bad qualifying, nearly 4 tenths of a second off the back of Andy. Unorthodox P7, got it done late but did it in the end. Little Each as well improved to P8. Sooty down to 9th with Peaceful 10th. Phil improved but then dropped down through others improving in P11 with Fury down in 12th. Keeks 13th, Emo Guy 14th. They're all 1.6. Deeks is P15, 2 seconds off the lead, and then Welshie 4.6 off the lead. Didn't get many laps in, I couldn't put a good lap together anyway, but due to the lack of it being in so late, he probably didn't get a cleanest of clear runs in this one. But the top 15, 2 seconds separating him, that is fantastic.
Top 11. Top 11 don't break a second.
No,
you know that's how tight this is.
And Fury's just over that second mark in the top 12 to be in the top 12. So really, you know, Fury starting 12th, but 1 second off the leader. That's a really good qualifying time. Some people at 12, I've qualified 12th. That's disheartening. A second, it's nothing. It's nothing. One mistake here for the leaders and you could end up down the back of the grid. Just reading the comments, FU Racing, come on. Kaylee, aka Jamie Brazier's partner, what happened at the final corner at Lodge? And then
what did you didn't tell me in the end? Yeah, that's right. Yeah, good point, Kaylee. What did happen?
Well, she asked the question last night, and I thought you'd know this fact. I thought you'd be absolutely bouncing off the walls, going, "Oh, we're at Oulton Park."
If you tell me.
Oh, I need to tell Matt this little fact. And what did you do? Sorry, what did Kaylee do? She asked it last night, and I says, "No, you're going to come back tomorrow night and find out what happened." Right, Matt Neal and Shedden, 2011, way out in front. Neal second, Shedden first.
Yeah.
Now I just want to put out there that even though this happened, Matt Neal still won the title that year, right? Let me just put that one out there. But Neal, on the last lap, tried to send one up the inside of the final corner in the wet on Shedden, and ultimately hit Shedden.
Yeah.
And Matt Neal ended up out the race, and Shedden finished way down, and some Jason Plato fella won the race. And like, Kaylee asked it last night, and Jamie's been telling me all week, and I know about it. It still haunts me. And I'm like, no, we'll wait for Thursday, because Kelly will know this. Kelly will want to wind me up about it.
I'd forgotten about it, actually. But it also reminds me when Matt Neal took out Shedden at Donington Park. When they were both, I think Shedden was leading, wasn't he? And Matt Neal, bumped him in the rear and took a pair of them out into the gravel trap. Well done, Matt.
At the end of the day, that happened in 2011, and Matt Neal still won the title. So, I mean, you know, he just did it for Jason to try and catch up, and he still couldn't do so.
If you think so, yeah. Always entertaining stories from our Honda boys.
I was really hoping. Like, she said it last night. She asked the question last night. I'm saying, no, Kelly will know this tomorrow. Trust me, Kelly will know this tomorrow.
We're underway here. We're underway, and good start from everybody. Andy with the with exactly what he needed, with a cracking good start, and the Porsche boys behind, pushing and shoving for position, all clean so far.
Oh, Gary!
But, it's very early days.
Yeah, very early days indeed. Gary, though, up the inside at Cascades Corner. And what has happened to Jamie Brazier? He's lost it coming through Cascades, down to P14, so not the start he'd have wanted. He's now behind Keegs. Can he get back up that order? Fury, good start from him. Was 12th on the grid, don't forget. A second off the lead. He's already jumped 6 cars to get up into P6, just behind Monkey Boy. But Andy did exactly what he needed to do there, with Gary chasing him down. D-Big's third, so lost out. Excuse me, with Mazda then trying to get on the back of D Biggs. Back in the pro group, don't forget to not... Oh, excuse me. As Phil, you just saw there, going straight on at the chicane. Maybe misjudged that one and got that one wrong. And yeah, you see there, big damage on Phil's car already. Oh, Peaceful's had to
all
take
over the place.
Yeah. Oh, Phil getting out the way of his teammate and Keegs and Little Leach. Oh, Little Leach looks like he's got a bit of damage to his Porsche as well. So Phil then, Unorthodox has been involved in something as well. Has Welshie as well, because he's a bit off the pace.
Yep, definitely stuff happened that we didn't see, that's for certain sure. Dan's car looks in good shape, as does Jamie Brazier's as well. So they didn't hit anything as such. They could have been pushed out and onto the grass. We don't know. But certainly unlike Phil's car, which is looking very second-hand.
Very battered, yeah. He's really struggling. He's really struggling with that one.
Yeah, he's definitely going back to the pits. So Andy's still out front. He's gapped Gary now by second and a bit, which is exactly what he needs to do. He needs to get his head down and get away from the rest of the pack. It's a 20 lap race, this one. How long is it going to be before they come round and start having problems with back markers? We will see.
This is it, isn't it?
Is Phil going to go a lap down with his damage? He could well do, or he could come out right in the mix. So
I'll tell you what,
we've also got
Kelly,
Peacefuls in there.
Yeah, I was just about to say, our man Peaceful, he must have had an incident at the first lap as well, because obviously the rules state pit window, you have to pit unless weather changes or significant damage. So Peaceful must have significant damage here, but he's down in last place, obviously, in the pits. He pitted before Phil, so I imagine he'll get the jump on Phil. That's just obviously Phil's pit box being a bit further down the pits than at Peaceful's. But for the rest of the pack, they got away quite cleanly. Bit of damage here and there on a few cars, but this is the problem. Look, Keegs doesn't really have to do anything spectacular here, but Dan can't find a way through because he's just parking that car exactly where he needs to. Runs a little deep. That's not going to hurt him. The chicane's covered that one off then. Gary getting within a second mark now of Andy.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, he was just saying exactly what I was going to say. Dan is all over the back of Keegs here. But when do you go to overtake? Keegs went a bit deep into the chicane, but you can still cover it off. You know, even when you're offline, you can cover it off because there isn't an awful lot of space to make advantage of that.
He covers off the run of the inside line of the chicane by running wider. He's then covered that extra line off. Sutty making a mistake coming out of Lodge corner there, and you see Dan all over the back of Keegs. Now, unless he's going to cut to the inside, he's not going to make that work. And this is where we said in qualifying, Kelly, patience.
He's going to have a crack.
He is going to have a crack. Oh, Sutty's dived into the pit lane.
Well, he must have damage.
Oh, I wonder if Sutty's had significant damage, but because Phil's has been worse, the team have decided to bring Phil in and tell Sutty to do an extra lap, and that may be the call. Phil already a lap down, Peaceful nearly a lap down, but this is the problem. This is what we said in qualifying. Look, with Dan, patience being the key word here. Dan can't find a way past Keegs, even though Keegs doesn't look tidy and neat and meeting the apexes. There's still no room. Dan has just got to wait for that opening.
Absolutely, you're quite right. And you know,
there's a slide, and there's that moment. There's the moment that Dan needed Keegs right round, and his dad's now going to get past him as well. So Keegs just a bit too greedy, maybe through the chicane on the power, and he's just lost the rear of that car. So that's gave Dan an extra position. Little each bit of damage to the front of that Porsche. That bonnet looks folded under. At the front, Emo guy then up in P7.
It does, doesn't it? Yeah,
look at it, look, just the front there just looks kind of folded under on that Porsche. So bit of damage to the front of the Leach Motorsport Porsche. That's not what he'd have wanted down in P10 at the moment. Emo guy running in P7 while his teammate leads the race, and he's got Fury all over the back of Monkey Boy just a bit further up. And look at this, he's going to look round the outside. And I'll tell you what, the FU Racing Porsches today, they look they look racy, don't they? They look racy, them boys.
Yeah, they do look like they've got some pace tonight. They're certainly hustling along. Whoever's in front of them. I mean, Fury's had the best out of the start, as we said. Fury was in a 10th place, and 12th place, and Daniel was 7th, 8th, something like that.
7th, 8th.
Yeah. So the first couple of laps have kind of mixed things up for these boys, but they are looking, as you say, looking racy. You know, Fury, definitely looking like he's. Giving Monkey Boy a hard time, that's for certain sure. But look out, because Emo guy's right behind him, and we know that Ian's a quick boy as well, and he doesn't mess about. He gets his elbows out, that's for certain sure. Oh, look at the battle just up in front of these two. You got Gary, D Biggs, and Mazda all within a little train. Andy's checked out early doors, and on board Mazda, he's just starting to gain on the back. Oh, a bit wide there out of Knickerbrook. Yeah. But you see D Biggs and Gary just in front there, just starting to have a nice little battle between the two of them.
as this one develops, as Monkey Boy and Emo Guy's actually passed Fury, and is that Gary who's dropped it? He has! Gary has dropped the car all on his... Oh, he's got big damage to that car. He's lost the rear spoiler and everything. And this is what I was trying to say in qualifying before quali ended. One mistake, you don't just lose 1 or 2 places, you could lose half a field worth of places. Look at that, who's that in the background? That is Deeks and Big Boy Brazier side by side through Druids. Big Boy Brazier gets that job done after a poor first lap. Gary then, mistake all on his own, 2 wheels on the grass, and he loses the rear of the car. He's got a pit for big damage, and that could be a lengthy pit stop.
Yes, indeed. And again, it's what we've said before about Gary. He's very quick. He's multiple champion, pole positions, fast laps, race wins. But every now and then, the chink in his armour is just consistency. Do you know what I mean? And he dropped it all by himself.
And I think we said this last week at COTA, didn't we? He just at times seems to push too hard.
Yes. And we see the Emo Guy has got round Fury at some point in the last lap, because he's now running in front. We didn't see that happen. Both cars are intact, so it looks like it happened cleanly. But Emo Guy's now setting his sights on Monkey Boy and chasing him down for the next position. But yeah, it is again. We keep banging on. It's a very narrow track. You get a wheel on the grass, especially these powerful rear-wheel drive cars. The back end's going round, and Gary's
you're a passenger.
Gary's 41 seconds off the lead now, where he was running second. You know what I mean? And that's how fortunes can change around this track. And we know really quickly.
We know with the only G pulling out, he's kind of got a bit of breathing space to Jamie Brazier, 30-odd points, that gap. Jamie not having the best races in 7th, but one man this really favours at the minute, or 2 men, should I say, 3, maybe even 3, D-Bigs, Emo Guy and Andy, scoring big in this first race. Really, at the halfway stage, this is start to where you maybe have one eye start to look at the table every now and again. At the halfway mark, where am I halfway? What sort of late charge can I have? Obviously going into the second round this evening, and then you've got the 4 remaining tracks after this, as we see on Orthodox getting a good run out of Lodge Corner and down the inside towards Old Hall on Little Leach. Little Leach, plenty of respect there. These two having a cracking battle.
I don't know if you've seen it. Little Leach went wide on the last corner, which gave down the run. So Little Leach obviously not fighting it too hard, because Daniel had the run on him. They're only going to put they're only going to I was getting there. It's been a long day. So they're only going to affect themselves if they start messing around. They're better off. As say, Little Leach kind of didn't put up too much for a fight, and then tucks back in behind Dan, and start to move forward again.
Indeed he does. Little Leach, we're not sure if he's running a bit of damage to that. Definitely some aero damage to the front of that car. It looks like on Orthodox as well, his front bumper looks a bit dislodged. It doesn't look quite on right, if you ask me. So maybe a bit of front aero damage for the pair of these 2 Porsches, but they're doing well at the moment. The Lamborghini behind them, lap down is filled. Back to Fury, gaining on Monkey Boy. Monkey Boy obviously only scoring Constructors points tonight, but it'll be interesting to see what happens. The Quick Man Master, we've not seen the ultimate pace from him yet that we normally tend to see. He's lapping around, a bit slower than the 2 in front of him, but he's doing well in the Audi, still getting to grips with the car. Obviously deciding the car Tuesday was the latest we gave him to pick his car, and he chose that Audi, so still probably learning the car and learning where he can push and whatnot. Bit of rain about in the forecast, so we'll have to wait and keep our eyes out for that one. But again, Gary 131, big talking point. Gary and Jamie Brazier losing the car, and again costing the championship leader vital points when he could start to need them.
Yes, exactly right. As you say, we're halfway in the season at the moment. As you said, now people looking at where their form is and what they need to do to put a championship together. Who's that behind?
I think that's Fury. Big shunt into. Did he hit the tyre wall there? But we see all the cones and the plastic.
I think he hit that tyre wall on the outside of the chicane. It's solid. It's rooted into the ground.
I think he may have lost it before then, because the front end looks pretty intact. I think he's lost it just before, but then he's hit it with the rear, because that rear looks a mess, but the front doesn't look too bad, and he's going to have to limp back to the pits, as well as keeping out of everybody's way. Little Leach has got back past Unorthodox. We didn't see that move done, and he looks like he's going to try and get past Deeks. And while he's trying to pass Deeks, there's an upcoming Fury. He's cut to the grass. And I think Fury did the best thing there, just to keep out of these guys' way. Dan must have had a spin because he's well off the pack here. There's a sign gone flying, but poor Fury. Yeah, Dan's rear looks a bit... He had a bit of a... Yeah, I'm not sure what's up with Dan's rear. It doesn't look quite straight, does it? But Little Leach through.
He's certainly behind, as you said. So, we don't know what happened to Dan there, but he's got to do all that work again. As Little Leach is hassling Deeks quite substantially, all over him.
Yeah.
One side's always going down the inside. He's gone down, he's made it stick.
He hasn't, he's run very, very, very wide, keeping out the tyre wall he has. Deeks was off with him as well. Yeah. So that's kept Dan 2 places there. Just tried to force the move. Did Little Leach into Cascades Corner, and that's really hurt Deeks as well. Down now to P9. Not only losing 1 place, Welsh's in the pits. At the end of lap 7, pit window was lap 8, so maybe damage to that car, because now the drivers are able to pit. From Gary down, haven't pitted yet. Deeks up are yet to pit. I'll say that Gary's just past Deeks, so from Deeks and then 9th up can pit. Sutty up to 12th. We've had a retirement. We've lost Deeks.
That was Deeks. Yeah, just gone. Yeah.
Oh, what a shame.
I don't know what happened there, but he's gone. So, we're still on board with Ian, emo guy, who's been within a second or so of Monkey Boy for the past couple of laps. Can't seem to find a way round.
Hang on. Change for the lead. D Biggs has passed Andy. What has happened to Andy
What happened there? I didn't see... didn't see that coming, did you?
I didn't see the change neither, because last I looked, D Biggs was well over a second behind. Now...
Yeah.
D-Big's
must have dropped
lead. He must have dropped it. Yeah, Fury, 100% rear damage, 23% engine damage. For those of you that wonder why we say percentages, basically the damage display on the driver's screens will show them how much aero on the front and back damage they've got out of 100%, and obviously engine or mechanical damage, if you like. So he has hit that wall or hit something hard to have 100 really rear damage. Andy! He's tapped D-Biggs! And D-Biggs has lost his rear spoiler. Rejoins the track, and now look who leads the race. Andy rejoins, and there goes Monkey Boy, Andy's teammate. But Mazda now leads this race, and D-Biggs could have huge damage on the back of that Porsche.
Yes, indeed. I think D-Biggs started to lose. I don't know if they lost it together or if D-Biggs started to lose it and Andy just collected him because he was so close behind him. But in a split second, they're both going backwards. And look out who's in front now.
Yeah, bided his time, and we said earlier, patience is the key. Well, there's not been no more patience, and this man just happy to sit where he was. Gary's lost it, Biggs has lost it, Andy's lost it. He now leads the race. Also, massive hats off to Monkey Boy, only filling in tonight's race. He's P2.
He is. There he is, P2. He's under an awful lot of pressure from Emo Guy at the moment, but as we see, who's that coming into the pits?
That's D-Biggs.
One of D-Biggs, to have a new Porsche, please. Because he's broken that one.
There's a few repairs for there's Gary, D-Biggs and Fury now, so the Porsche dealership must be forking out some money for some new Porsches
absolutely.
here.
Absolutely.
3 of them in one race.
Chinese parts, or something like that. Get some knockoff parts from
100%.
Or get some cheap fiberglass built stuff like the touring cars do these days, So, as you say, Monkey Boy under huge pressure from Emo Guy, but still keeping it moving forward. So our 2 guests, as it were, for this evening, Monkey Boy just on Constructors points, and he's glitching. And he's hit that barrier, glitching all over the place. I don't know if that's happening on his screen, but that's damaged that that Mercedes. Should be easy pickings now for Emo Guy. But look, Andy's back in the mix. Andy's not suffering with any damage, I don't think, on that Lamborghini, because he's still got pace.
Lucky to get away with that. D-Biggs obviously had quite a lot of damage, and Andy's got away with it. D-Biggs is out the pits and has managed to stay in front of Gary, so he's managed to keep that hold position, if you will. Andy lucky to get away with no damage on that Lamborghini there then.
No, and D-Biggs did give him a bit of a tap on the rear as they both went round. They kind of bumped into each other, as it were. But Andy's still got a good chance here for good points, and he's still racy because he's not too far behind these guys. is Monkey Boy got damage? You know, has got damage that's going to affect his driving with that Mercedes now, because he's certainly got some damage to the front of it there on the left-hand side of the car, driver's side of the car. So yeah, he's got some damage there. Is he got suspension damage? He seems to be moving on quite well.
He seemed a bit laggy last night on the Pro-Am as well, so I don't know if that is just his end, and then it's visually made it look like it for us. But we'll have to keep an eye on his lap times and keep an eye on what he does.
Absolutely, and of course Monkey Boy has got these two very quick guys behind him, and this is giving Mazda a chance to pull away a little bit. 5.7 seconds now, Mazda in front, as these guys are chasing down Monkey Boy, and he's doing his very best to drive the best race he can, and Mazda's getting away.
One thing I'm noticing is Keegs down in 15th place must have really bad damage, must have had a really bad pit stop, a 2 minute 13 lap. He's lost out to Phil, who was a lap down, don't forget. Fury's even lost out to Phil. That's how bad a pit stop Fury's had. Don't forget, at one stage was running P5, P4, now down in P14, and Keegs down in 15th place. Horrible pit stop for him. But Mazda leads, Monkey Boy second, Emo third, Andy fourth, with Big Boy Brazier. Big quiet race for him. Had his moment turn one, and then since then has been brilliant. And look at the run, Emo guy got out the exit to Druids, down towards Lodge Corner, under Warwick Bridge. Monkey Boy gives him plenty of room through Lodge, and Emo guy, as cool as you like, up the inside, and he's been patient for several laps now, and has got that job done.
Certainly has, yeah. Sweet move. Good driving from both of them. Monkey Boy saw him coming, and didn't give him any kind of silliness, and Ian's threw it away. So Andy will be the next one bearing down, and Andy's going to want to pass Monkey Boy reasonably quickly and try and get a grip back on this race. But change of fortunes here, really. We said at the beginning, Jamie Brazier was right at the back at the lap one. Lap 12 now, he's brought himself back into contention. I mean, he's 11 seconds off the lead, and I was going to say a race win, is a long shot, but the way the fortunes can turn around on this track, then he's having as you said, a quiet race, but he's just dragging himself back into good points positions. Just needs these two to trip over themselves, and then he'll be right back in it again.
Really does. He's really been patient at the moment to get where he is. And we said this about this track tonight. Patience is what's going to bring you points, if anything, tonight. And for Mazda and Big Boy Brazier, Dan as well. Dan's been quite well in being patient. He's now running P6. What's happened to Gary again? He was ahead of Little Leach. He's now back behind Little Leach, down in 9th place. So the Leach Motorsport brothers not having their best outing here, and championship leader and defending champion Gary.
Yeah.
His Porsche looks good since they've decided to repair it.
Looks nice.
It's more fancy than the touring cars, where you've seen big damage to a car, you just put a bit of duct tape on it, away they go.
Yeah, that's right.
Back on the track, job done. This one, they've rebuilt Gary's car in under 2 minutes, let's say.
Yeah, I mean, amazing, isn't it? They're certainly give the mechanics their due. I mean, they're mainly useless, apart from changing headlights. But I mean, quality of work is brilliant, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? Like brand new.
It really is. Just noticed Emo guys just pulled a couple of tenths back this lap on Mazda, although Mazda was 4 tenths quicker last time around. Mazda's just got to get his head down here and keep matching Emo guys' laps. Both still to pit. Monkey Boy, Andy, Emo guy, Jamie, aka Big Boy Brazier, and Mazda still to pit, or as you called him last week, Bad Boy Brazier, because he's still on the Big Boy Brazier 2 account, not his normal account. So Bad Boy Brazier.
Yeah,
still to pit.
Absolutely.
21 people watching, 13 likes, guys. Hit that thumbs up button if you like what you see here. Also subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed already. You think this is tight and a few incidents this week, join us next week where we'll be at Long Beach for the evening race. No night race or day race. We're in the evening, so as the sun starts to set over the beach at Long Beach, we'll be there covering that one. Kelly,
I'll have my shorts on.
Oh yeah, we'll be. I'll make sure to bring the flip flops and the shorts.
Wine shirts and pina coladas all round.
That's the one. We can chill on the beach while these guys smash into all the walls that they have on offer. There is Andy. He's going to pull the trigger on a pit stop at the end of lap 13.
Yes, indeed. As Andy goes in for his routine pit stop, this is not for damage. This is one because everyone needs to make a mandatory pit stop. So
look at the boys. Look, they've brought the wet weather tyres out with the grooves in. Look, don't need them, but they're there.
Yeah,
they're there, Andy. Don't you worry. It's still sunny. Look, the sun's out, Andy, but we've brought the wet weather tyres out just for you, mate.
Because that's the kind of guys they are.
Yeah, just in case it started to rain. But brilliant work from Andy's pit crew, and away he goes on his merry way, dropping down to P6, but the top 5 still have to come into the pits.
Yeah, yes, indeed, they certainly do. So keep the comments coming. Keep going, Fury from Fury's granddad. The Fury Massive are always here and always supporting their man. But keep the comments coming in. Anything you want to say, or just to say hi would be great. We love to hear from you. It's the reason we do all this, just to entertain you people out there. So show us your support, like the stream, subscribe to the channel, do all that kind of stuff. Do you know what I mean? Matt gets really happy about it, let's have you. Sure.
Indeed, let's be having it. Andy come out just behind Unorthodox here, so a little motive battle on the circuit at the moment. Come on, Jamie, says Kaylee. Yes, come on, Jamie. P4 after a disastrous first lap where he went off at Cascades pretty much on his own, as he's actually going to come into the pits.
Going into pits.
So has Monkey Boy, Emo Guy, and now Big Boy Brazier in the pits. Well, yeah, quiet race for Jamie in this one. Kelly had his off, and then he's just got his head down since then and just kind of worked his way up into the top 4.
Yeah, absolutely, and after what was a poor first lap, we didn't see why. He's really just dragging it back quite tidily. Just dragging just doing the numbers, dragging the race back to him to score some big points. And if you've got an eye on the championship, then points make prizes, don't they?
Points do mean prizes, and one man who's jumped another. The undercut has worked for Andy because he's managed to get out in front of Monkey Boy.
Yes, he has, only just as we can see, but certainly in front. And Andy's got traffic with I say traffic, it's 4-track position. As he gives Daniel a nudge into that tail. Oh, that was rude.
That was 100%. That was a Jason Plato move. Up the rear end, move out my way. That's my apex.
That was a classic Matt Neal move. That was absolutely, absolutely. Nudge it out of the way. Daniel's flashing his lights. These two are friends. They might not be now. As Andy gives. Andy's flashing his lights as well. So,
Andy clearly wants to get the hurry on, knowing that Dan's got to pit. He clearly wants to get the hurry on to try and close that gap between Mazda and himself before Mazda pits. Didn't want Dan holding him up. Bethany and Duffin in the chat, massive Gary fan, as you all know, who are regular viewers at the Simplay Motorsport channel.
How many accounts has your missus got?
2. Apparently,
2, obviously.
It wouldn't let her log in last week on a phone, so she created her other one. And then she said hey on her other one earlier, and now she's managed to get back on a usual one now. But Gary, come on, what are you playing at? Yes, Gary, what are you playing at?
What are you playing? Yes, Gary, what are you playing at?
Sutty's
really?
10 seconds behind you, and he's on the wheel. If Sutty beats you on the wheel, you'll never live it down. So come on, boy, up your pace. Dan, still not pitted. Master, still not pitted at the moment.
Hence why he's 23 seconds ahead, because Emo Guy has pitted, who's now in second place, and that's going to be position second place, isn't it? So
position second place.
Absolutely. So Emo Guy again making it all work when he needs to. So Mazda not pitted yet. Bethany, go up behind him and just flick the back of his ear when he's saying something. Go on, I dare you.
Yeah, she's upstairs putting the clothes away. She's disappeared upstairs to leave me in peace to get the commentary done. Oh, who is that? Oh, Dan. Dan having a bit of a problem, and all the hard work Dan had done to pull a gap maybe over D Biggs and Little Each and Gary. Has that just gone out the window? 15 drivers remaining. Deeks retired from the race. You've got to get to lap 15 to score points. Deeks didn't get to that part, so he will be in. Mazda, though, pits at the end of lap 16. So Mazda pulling the trigger now. Interesting to see where Emo Guy is, or going to be, on circuit, as to where...
I don't think he was close enough. I think Mazda should have a nice enough gap, shouldn't he?
I'd reckon so. He was 5 seconds in front when Emo Guy pitted. then yeah, Emo Guy's not even in sight yet down the start. Oh no, he is now.
Yeah, it's going to be...
Could be close, could be close.
It's going to be very
it's
close.
Closer than 5 seconds.
Out, but yeah, there certainly isn't 5 seconds anymore, that's for certain sure,
no.
isn't it? Ian's got to be looking at this and thinking a sniff of the win here now, hasn't he?
Surely he has to be. Yeah, he has to be looking at this for a sniff of the win. Dan's coming to the pit, so everybody has now pitted. And with 3 laps to go, you see there that Emo Guy's within 0.7 of a second. Andy's only 4 seconds back. So these two start to play up. Maybe Andy could look at a win, but Emo Guy, we saw him behind Monkey Boy earlier, will wait and wait and wait to make that opportunity and make that move happen. He will not force the issue. He'll play it safe, knowing that he's 4th in the championship here and points being prized. With G technically out the standings, unless G decides he does want to come back, technically a net 3rd by the end of the season at least for Emo Guy. So going well, and with Jamie and Gary not scoring big tonight, huge points for the Class of 97 team with Andy and Emo Guy, but huge points for themselves independently for their drivers' standings.
Yes, indeed. And yeah, you know, the sensible driver here would not risk anything and you know, end up behind Andy. He wants to stay in front of Andy, whatever. Do you know what I mean? It's better to be 2nd place in front of Andy for a championship. Remembering that Mazda's only just joined us tonight, so he's not really a contender, although Emo Guy's getting closer and closer. He's going to look for a clean overtake, or that's what I'd be looking for.
I tell you one thing though, Kelly, Mazda's not going to make it easy for him. One of the best defensive drivers I've ever witnessed or ever drove against is Mazda. He will not make it easy for Emo Guy. Emo Guy, as much as we say he's patient and everything, Mazda will make that Audi as wide as humanly possible. And
we've only got 2 laps to go, so it's not like we've got, you know, 10 laps for Ian to you know, to try and analyse a weakness and try and find a spot where he's quicker. We haven't got that time.
He's got to hurry it a bit more anti now.
Lap and a half. As Mazda goes quite deep into that section. It's on camber. As I say, it's quite nice. You kind of tuck into the apex and it kind of slingshot you out the other side. It's quite a nice corner, that that hairpin at the bottom end of the track. But yeah, Emo Guy, other races, Jamie Brazier still hasn't quite caught Monkey Boy, but he's right on top of him. I don't want to miss out if Ian
miss out on a race lead.
At this.
We'll keep our eyes on the timing screen for if Jamie Brazier can pass Monkey Boy. But again, Monkey Boy doing a solid job at keeping a quick guy behind him once again in this pro category. And is this what Monkey Boy we can start to see from Monkey Boy here? Because last year didn't really have that pace, didn't get settled in the Acura. Just didn't look quick at all, and he's came into this one in the Mercedes and looks brilliant. Mazda doing a similar job to Monkey Boy at keeping Emo Guy at bay for the time being.
Yes, indeed, and you know, Mazda knows that he's got nothing to lose, you know, and everything to gain, and Ian will know that he's got everything to lose and only a little bit to gain. So it's one of those things, isn't it? You know, all racers, amateur, pros, whatever, a win's a win. You know, and 2nd place is only just the first loser, you know, so it's you always want that win, but there's a bigger picture here, and that's what Ian's got to keep his head on, really, hasn't he?
He has. There's a good little 3-way battle looking at the timing screen between Unorthodox Gary and Little Each, the 3 Porsches for 7th, 8th and 9th at the moment. There is Gary, he's got Little Each not far behind him and Dan just up in front of him, so the 3 Porsches here running in unison, flying the flag as a manufacturer. But it's all about this battle at the front at the moment. Andy slowly creeping up on the back of them. I think he's running out of... He was there. Big Boy Brazier's got past Monkey Boy, but what's happened to Andy out the chicane? Because he's
dropped it, and he
has. That's Welshie getting out the way.
That's right out the way. Well done.
Yeah, doing well there, Welshie at Knickerbrook as well. Don't get your panties in a twist there.
Yeah. Well, I was about to say something very similar, but you got there first.
Because Mazda and Emo Guy, what a battle this is. What a drive for Emo Guy, but what a defensive drive from Mazda at the moment. Emo Guy, patient. We're about to start the last lap. They're coming down towards Lodge Corner now. Andy, that's how far back he's dropped. He's now under pressure from Big Boy Brazier. Was 2 seconds off the lead. He's lost 5 seconds coming out the Britain chicane, the first of the 2 chicanes. But we're on the last lap here. So this is where Mazda and Emo Guy can really now start to make this look a bit interesting. Where's Keegs? Because he's 9 minutes down on the leaders here and constantly losing time.
I think he might be at Knock Hill. I don't know where he is. Well, there you go. The cameraman isn't picking him up.
He's parked up somewhere, hasn't he? Yeah, he's parked up somewhere.
Yeah, he's got stuck somewhere.
Yeah, so...
he's
trying to maybe force the issue at the Shell Oils hairpin corner as we come towards Britain's now. Yeah. What is Emo Guy going to try in towards Britain? Sign on the road, both dodge it, close to the tyre wall then. Up the hill we come, down the straight. They're going to come towards Hislops now, where we think Keegs has parked up for the day. And into Hislops we come.
Yeah,
and Emo Guy
very steady
close.
Into that one.
He is making sure that Emo Guy has to brake a bit earlier to follow him sort of through. Through Nickelbrook we go. Good defensive driving this.
Ian's doing his favourite bit of flashing his lights out, which he loves everyone else doing. This is probably one of the best overtaking opportunities as they come down.
Ian's lost it! He's dropped it on the final corner, and that's going to be it. Mazda then is going to take the first race win of the night and his first win in the Pro Group since last season. But it was a hard-fought win at the very end, and Emo Guy was giving it absolutely everything. A flash of the lights from Mazda as he takes victory. Emo Guy's going to come home second place. He's done well there. Welsh'll cross the line in P12. But look at this, a battle of drag to the line, and Andy just takes it.
Just gets it.
From Jamie Brazier for P3 for Andy. Big Boy Brazier will take a P4 with Monkey Boy the replacement driver taking a 5th place. D-Biggs on birthday all take a P6. So good to see from him. Oh, Dan! Oh, he's well off into the wall and just... I'm not sure what Gary's doing. Oh, Craig's had a spin as well. So Craig's had a moment as well. So Dan well off. Craig had a moment, and it looks like Craig is going to race Gary towards the line. And has Craig just picked up 2 more places there? Wasn't quite sure what Gary was doing. Did Gary give Dan a bit of a tap? And that might be why Dan went off. But Gary waited. It looked like Little Leach come back on, but Little Leach will take P7. Gary will take P8. Unorthodox is going to take P9. In what could have been for him, Peaceful Explosion. Our man again, that Mercedes looks battered.
Beat, absolutely beat.
Oh, that looks,
it's about 4 inches shorter than it was originally. You know what I mean? It's absolutely beaten to death.
Keegs, for some reason, just slowly round the track. Not quite sure what that's all about. But Peaceful's going to come home. Yeah, no, I don't know what he's doing. Peaceful's going to come home. Oh, Sutty's Lamborghini looks interesting.
Second hand?
Yeah, so does Fury's Porsche behind as well, actually. But Peaceful's going to take a P10. Sutty's going to come home for P11, with Welshie getting a P12. Obviously, his teammate Deeks not scoring in this one. And where we're looking, Fury's going to come home.
Look at Fury's, as he spins it round before he gets to the line. He's out there doing some donuts, because he might as well.
He's going to take 14th place. He's going to take 14th place, and Phil takes 13th. Keys doing some donuts as well as the timer runs out. With Deeks disconnects from that. Top 7 can't do the next session. No, top 8 can't do the next session as 16 started the race. Dan, top 8 cannot do the next session. Fastest lap. This could be a tricky one. 33.53 from Big Boy Brazier. 33.4 from Gary is the fastest lap. So Gary takes the fastest lap of the race then to go with his P8. We're going to be right back after a quick break. Don't go anywhere, guys. Make sure you hit that thumbs up button and stay tuned for race 2 of the evening. Should be an absolute cracking one. We're going to be right back in just a few moments while we set up the next lobby, get a few drivers in for an interview. So don't go anywhere.
You're the night sky trying to make me see your stars, but the dark gets lonely. Now I see violet, I can feel silence, and the dark's all that I see. When your stars are burnt out and your heart makes no sound, I'll find violet in your eyes. You'll always be my night sky.
I just realized I've built walls a mile high to protect my heart, but now I'm all alone, stuck on the inside. The heart doesn't need a castle, it needs a bridge. Been too scared that I'd unravel. Brick by brick, I built these walls. Now I know that I am strong. Just watch me tear them down. I'm gonna tear them down. If it couldn't break your heart, is it really love? If it can't tear you apart, is it really love? Just watch me march towards the battle. I'm gonna tear down this castle. I'm gonna tear down this castle.
I'm gonna tear down this car.
Watch me march. If it couldn't break your heart, is it really love? If it can't tear you apart, is it really love? If it couldn't break your heart, is it really love? If it can't tear you apart, is it really love? I criticized myself for trusting lies. I know I can't hide, 'cause then I'd be alone, stuck on the inside. The heart doesn't need a castle, it needs a bridge. Been too scared that I'd unravel. Brick by brick, I built these walls. Now I know that I'm enough. Just watch me tear them down. I'm gonna tear them down. If it couldn't break your heart, is it really love? If it can't tear you apart, is it really love? Just watch me march towards the battle. I'm gonna tear down this castle. I'm gonna tear down this castle.
I'm gonna tear down this car.
Watch me march. If it couldn't break your heart, is it really love? If it can't tear you apart, is it really love? If it couldn't break your heart, is it really love? If it can't tear you apart, is it really love?
Play a song. I'ma turn it up and then I'm gonna take it down. I'ma turn it up and then I'm gonna take it down. I'ma turn it up and then I'm gonna take it down. Play a song. I'ma turn it up and then I'm gonna take it down. I'ma turn it up and then I'm gonna take it down. I'ma turn it up and then I'm gonna 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 take it down.
Welcome back to Simplay Motorsport. I'm joined in the commentary box by the top 3 finishers of race 1. I'm just going to quickly run you through who can and cannot qualify. So the top 8 cannot qualify for this one. So that is Gary 131, Little Leach, Monkey Boy cannot qualify, Emo Guy, Andy, Mazda, D Biggs and Big Boy Brazier cannot qualify for this one. We're going to start off with Andy in the commentary box. Andy, a P3 for you. You was leading for so long, and then you kind of had a coming together with D Biggs and pushed hard at the end and just couldn't ultimately get it back to where you was at the start.
Yeah, the incident with D Biggs was a little bit of 50-50 really. D Biggs got a little bit out of shape coming out of Britain's the first chicane, and I went to avoid him, but I think he was trying to move over. He was trying to be gentleman at the same time, and he moved over at the same time that I tried to dodge him, so we ended up coming together. And he came out for a lot worse than I did in that one, so I'm very unlucky for D Biggs. He had some good pace, but myself maybe lost the win. But having said that, I did have a spin towards the end when I was closing in on the other two, Ian and Master. So I don't know what would have happened, but P3, pretty happy with that.
And
but,
it's so tight around here that overtake, like you say, you could have gained to the back of them too, but it's hard to overtake, isn't it? So it's hard to get past the boys.
Absolutely, I was made up with getting pole because I thought, that's more or less half the job done already around this track. But shame couldn't convert it really. But yeah, the other two put on a really good fight, and they looked like they were having a good battle. So I'm glad that Ian got P2 because obviously he's getting the good points for class of 97, and it looks like we're going to gain points on Leach Motorsport as well, which is what we need. So overall, pretty happy with that first race. What's
your plans for race 2? Obviously, reverse grid qualifying by the back. What's your thoughts coming through the field this time?
It's going to be tricky in the wet, definitely. Especially as you said, Matt. Obviously, it's not a easiest track to overtake. It's quite narrow, and not a whole load of opportunities. The chicanes are going to really be the sort of the point where the opportunities are going to open up. Maybe people getting a little bit loose out of the chicanes, so getting good traction out of those corners is going to be pivotal to making the way back through.
Yep.
Andy, let me try and get a grip on your mentality. We're halfway through the season. You're in a good position in the championship. Are you starting to think tactically about just points finishes, or is it for you every race is an opportunity to win?
To be honest, Kelly, I'm not really looking at the championship. I think I'm a little way behind. Ian's told me tonight that we're 4th and 5th in the standings, but really GT3s aren't even my strongest category on project cars. I'm more sort of like a front wheel drive touring car, Clio type driver generally. So for me, I'm coming into this very much with my eyes open and looking to just see what I can learn about racing in these cars.
So just taking it meeting by meeting.
That's it. Seeing what I can improve on and pick up on.
Well, best luck for race 2, Andy.
Yep.
Emo Guy, P2 from the back of the grid, pretty much. What a drive!
Yeah, I was loving it. So I was. My hand was not in exactly the same mentality as my brain was. That was starting to cramp up a little bit halfway through. But yeah, I'm happy with the result. Towards the end, I was having a fantastic battle with Mazda. Unfortunately, I couldn't get by him. And then I clipped the inside curb of the second to last corner and just lost it from there. But I kept it going and managed to eventually still come back home with a P2.
Yeah, fantastic drive from the back of the field. You was having a cracking fight with Mazda for the last couple of laps. We saw you earlier in the race behind Monkey Boy, just very patient, waiting to get past him, and then you managed to get through. And it was a similar job with Mazda at the end of the race, but ultimately just that one little push too much because you sort of lost the car at Druids, managed to hold on for the P2. But it's so tricky to overtake you. With Mazda not putting a foot wrong, you kind of have to force the issue slightly.
Yeah, you really do. At one point, coming up to the tight right-hander chicane, it was hairpin. I was pushing a little bit too hard. I was too busy focusing on how to get round the corner instead of how close I was to the corner, and I slightly broke myself and nearly tapped the back end of Mazda. So it's one of those ones where you really you have to give it your all, and you have to always be concentrating.
Yeah, it really is. What's your plans for race 2 then, mate? Starting the back end of the grid once again, similar to the first race?
Yeah, just try and get the best start possible. Try and take advantage of anybody's mistakes. Hopefully the the stewards in the game allow me to have a good starting position behind those that can qualify. Hopefully as far ahead of Leachblock Motorsport as possible, and try and keep my teammate Andy as close to me as possible to try and score the best possible points for this session tonight.
Well, best luck for race 2, buddy. Unless Kelly, you
Thank
got
you
anything to add?
I was just going to ask pretty much the same question that I asked Andy, Ian. You know, where's your mentality now? You know, he said you're running, you and Andy running 4th and 5th in championship. I mean, that's reasonably at the sharp end, especially with G retiring. You know, again, are you racing just meeting for meeting and taking your chances as they come to you, or are you starting to look at the bigger prize?
I'm definitely going to be looking at the bigger prize, because given that over at Motive Racing, we recently closed up in our GT3 season, and I lost by 1 point to first place. So I'm definitely going to try and rectify that situation here in this season and try and go for the title.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. I mean, we were saying it in the commentary on the thing, and certainly I was saying it. What do you do? Do you know what I mean? Second place is a good haul of points, you know, and a mistake could take you right the way down the field and lose those points. And as you say, 1 point at the end of the season, you know, could be the difference between winning a championship and not. So I say I'm interested to know what everyone's mentality is. You know, as we hit the halfway point. So yeah, it's good to know. Good to know.
Best luck for race 2, Ian, and we've got Mazda with us as well.
Thank you very much.
Mazda, mate, back in the pro group. You've obviously been on working the late shifts. You've not been able to be with us for the Pro-Am. You've not been in the pro group since last season at Monza, I do believe, was your final race in the pro group, in which you had a disastrous BMW run. And you just patience, and come away with a win.
Yeah, mate. I don't know what to say. I honestly don't know what to say with that. That was just an awesome drive, and just like you say, patience. Wait for I was actually praying for the D-Biggs and Andy to have a little of a spin, and I thought, jackpot, done this right. I'm in first place, and let's just keep it clean, keep off the tyres, and that's it.
You obviously come into this one no points. You've just won your first race, 25 points in the bag straight away. Title not something you're looking at yourself this season. Obviously halfway through it, you've got a lot of work to do if you was to win it. What's your goals in this one? Obviously you're going to start third from last on the grid. You're not really in the title. Is it to just see what the Audi's capable of in this back half of the season?
Yeah, pretty much a test season for this car. You never know, I might keep it. We'll see.
Kelly, anything you want to add?
Yes. Would you prefer the Mazda?
If there was a GT3, I'd give it a go any day.
You give every car a go. What's your plans from race 2 then, mate? Third from last. What's your plans?
Same as race 1, mate. Just take it as a time, let everybody spin off, and hopefully I'm not there in the way, so I can just get through and score them points.
Yeah, sorry,
obviously
I lost you
obviously for the the new team, Simplay Racing.
Yeah.
Whoop,
whoop. Whoop, whoop. Well, best of luck, mate, for race 2. We'll let you get back to it, and well, congratulations on your first race win in the pro group.
Yeah, Matt, well, the news is that no one is out on track, because about 2 minutes ago it started absolutely hammering it down.
Has. The heavens have opened, haven't they, here at Oulton Park?
So no one's out there. Before the rains came, Daniel on Orthodubs went fastest on a 1:33.2. Peaceful Explosion second, just 3/10 behind him. So it looks like we're going to run out the end of the session. No one's going to bother going out, because what's the point, really?
It's a bit like watching Friday practice on a Formula 1 race where it starts to drizzle and they all think, we don't need wet weather. We don't need wet weather running, because if it does this on Sunday, we'll start behind the safety car. These boys,
exactly.
Surprised they're not out there for just to see what it's like in the conditions. Heading into the start of the second race, passing showers we're hearing, so rain so not to stick around. So we don't know how long it could be here for, but top 6 qualified. We've lost 2 runners, no Deeks and no Keegs for this second race. Unfortunately, it's a shame we haven't got them 2 guys back in. But yeah, birthday boy D-Biggs will start 7th. Gary will start at the back of the grid. Do we know which birthday it is? We don't know. If he's watching the stream, Dom, what birthday is it today? What's the age we're looking at? I'll have a look now on there.
Are we going to have a fire hazard with the cake?
No, I don't think we're going to
Is
have
it
a
gonna be
fire
that many
hazard
candles?
with a cake. I don't think we're going to have a fire hazard at all.
Would be when mine comes up. Mine comes up in a couple of months' time. Mine's going to be a proper fire hazard, I think.
So we've got Unorthodox then on the pole from... Sorry, where are we? From Peaceful Explosion, Sutty Apex, Phil. Fury Welshie, D-Biggs and the first of the non-qualifiers with Big Boy Brazier, or Bad Boy Brazier as we like to call him at the moment, in P8, with Emo Guy 9th, Little Each 10th, Andy in 11th place, Mazda 12th, Monkey Boy 13th. What a job Monkey Boy did as well for a P6, I think it was in the end, for filling in. Gary 14th place and last in this one. So yeah, Gary at the moment back of the grid, stuff to do for him, as it's not letting me continue
indeed.
at the moment. I've just got
yes, indeed, Gary. Sorry, Gary, with an awful lot of work to do. And yes, just to reinforce your thing about Monkey Boy. Yeah, great to come up, standing in. Good result indeed. Good result.
Yeah, we can't ready up at the moment as I've got a loading screen on the game that isn't allowing us to go to the next window. So we'll have to wait and see what happens from here.
Yeah.
But while we are waiting, we can speak about what Gary's chances are for the second race. He's got a mistake in him as Gary, and we're seeing it quite a lot at the minute.
Yeah.
What's he got to do in this one? P14, hard to overtake, like the three guys said. What is his opportunities in race 2?
Well, yes, indeed. As my screen's just changed, so
Yeah,
it looks
my
like
screen has. Yeah, we are ready to go.
We're sorting it all out, so that's great. What opportunities? It's raining, Matt. It's Oulton Park. It's powerful cars. It's anybody's game, isn't it?
We've lost a driver.
Absolutely. We have. Who've we lost? Andy? No, Andy's there.
Unorthodox, Peaceful, Sutty, Phil, Fury, Welshie, D-Biggs, Emo Guy, Little Each, Andy, Mazda, Monkey Boy, Gary. Can't see. No, Welshie's there.
Welshie? Yeah,
no, Welshie's there. We didn't have Keegs and Deeks. It's Big Boy Brazier.
It is,
Big Boy Brazier.
Jamie,
So will not score points, and when he's 35 off the title and he's got Emo Guy only 11 behind him, that is not what he wants. So Iron Brew A will not be scoring points. Fury's granddad in the chat, my cake would definitely be a fire hazard. Jamie's been disconnected. Oh, what a shame. That is for Jamie then in this one, so no points. So the two English tracks, the two English tracks have been Jamie's worst tracks of the season.
Yep. Well, Long Beach next week, Jamie. Sun will be out.
Yep, sun's out, guns out.
Yeah, absolutely. So maybe he'll have a better run next week, because that's a shame. And you know, we don't want to lose anyone from disconnections, really. But
no, we don't. It's the way the virtual world works, though. Unfortunately,
it is.
But Jamie, you will be pleased to know that I have answered Kaylee's question tonight on Matt Neal and Gordon Shedden. If you wasn't listening last time round, and yes, I was listening. What a shame for Jamie then. So we're down to 13 runners in this second race, and it's still going to be chaotic.
Yes, indeed, and well, here we go. By the looks of it, we're syncing up, getting ready to take the start. So it's Unorthodox. Daniel Davis on pole position at the moment. Can he get up and away?
Oh, Fury's jumped the start. What is going off here?
What's going on here? There's a lot of people who've jumped the start here.
Gary and Little Each are away.
Have we started? Seems to be some confusion that if we've started or not started here. Daniel's now accelerating away. He's still showing his first place.
Yeah, Gary's still showing his 13th, yet he is down the road.
Yes, I don't know quite what's going on here with the having a bit of a... We were talking about the virtual world, and we're having a bit of a virtual world problem by the looks of it. As
there's only these top three who have gone as well. So what we're going to have to do then is, it looks like Jamie Brazier, false start says Andy, think it's crashed says D-Biggs. So we're going to have to reset the session. So we're just going to jump to a break, ladies and gentlemen. It seems as if the game has had a false start. So Jamie Brazier has... being disconnected has clearly glitched the game, so we've done something up. We'll be right back after a quick break. We're going to get the drivers in. We'll do a quick 5-minute qualifying for the guys. In fact, for the guys who could qualify, a quick 5-minute qualifying.
just realized I've built walls a mile high to protect my heart, but now I'm all alone, stuck on the inside. The heart doesn't need a castle, it needs a bridge. Been too scared that I'd unravel. Brick by brick, I built these walls. Now I know that I am strong. Just watch me tear them down. I'm gonna tear them down. If it couldn't break your heart, is it really love? If it can't tear you apart, is it really love? Just watch me march towards the battle. I'm gonna tear down this castle. I'm gonna tear down this castle.
I'm gonna tear down this car.
Watch me march. If it couldn't break your heart, is it really love? If it can't tear you apart, is it really love? If it couldn't break your heart, is it really love? If it can't tear you apart, is it really love? I criticized myself for trusting lies. I know I can't hide, 'cause then I'd be alone, stuck on the inside. The heart doesn't need a castle, it needs a bridge. Been too scared that I'd unravel. Brick by brick, I built these walls. Now I know that I'm enough. Just watch me tear them down. I'm gonna tear them down. If it couldn't break your heart, is it really love? If it can't tear you apart, is it really love? Just watch me march towards the battle. I'm gonna tear down this castle. I'm gonna tear down this castle.
I'm gonna tear down this car.
Watch me march. If it couldn't break your heart, is it really love? If it can't tear you apart, is it really love? If it couldn't break your heart, is it really love? If it can't tear you apart, is it really love?
Play a song. I'ma turn it up and then I'm gonna take it down. I'ma turn it up and then I'm gonna take it down. I'ma turn it up and then I'm gonna take it down. Play a song. I'ma turn it up and then I'm gonna take it down. I'ma turn it up and then I'm gonna take it down. I'ma turn it up and then I'm gonna 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 take it down. turn it up and then I'm gonna take it down. I'ma turn it up and then I'm gonna 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 turn it up, I'ma turn it up and then I'm gonna take it down.
Oh, no, that's saying we're finished. So to that. Welcome back then, ladies and gentlemen. Apologies for that short little delay. We're not sure what happened. The game had glitched out. People wasn't seeing the lights. People were getting drive-through penalties. We are back. We're just going to do a quick 15-minute qualifying in the cloudy conditions here. Just for the 7 that can qualify. The top 8 still not allowed to qualify. So we'll be underway in a moment. Jamie Brazier brought a bit of luck there, and he's managed to get himself back into the session. 18 people watching, 16 likes. Guys, hit that thumbs up button while the guys do a quick restart of qualifying, if you will. We saw Unorthodox on pole. Can he regain that pole spot, Kelly?
Wow, yes, he got that pole spot just before it started to rain. Slightly shorter session this time. You know, just a quick one to sort the grid out. As I say, we apologise for the glitches. It's beyond our control, and still the fun and games of the virtual world, I'm afraid, trying to get 15 people and 2 commentators all doing the same thing all around the country on one screen it still has its issues from time to time. I'm going to rename Jamie Brazier again this week. He's last week he was Bad Boy. This week he's going to be Lucky Boy Brazier for the rest of it, because he's the one that gained. You know, because he had dropped out of the session from no fault of his own, and he's had a bit of a get out of jail free card this time. So he's Lucky Boy Brazier tonight.
I'll tell you another lucky man is Gary. Was going to start P14 in this one. He's now going to start, well, it will be second out of the non-qualifiers, just behind his brother and teammate Little each. So the top 7 can qualify, and then Gary will start P9. So a bit of a bump up the grid for him. Obviously, we have no control over the guys who can't qualify. The game will automatically randomise them guys who cannot qualify. And as you see there, the guys in the pit, that will be their order, but obviously a bit further down the list. So these guys now, you ain't got time to mess around in the pits. You've got to get straight out, straight on track. Try and get 2-3 runs if you can. I think you're only going to get 2 with your outlap, and we're going to see from there 2 missing. Deeks and Keegs are missing. Yep, Keegs missing from this one, as is Deeks. Not sure where them 2 have gone. They have had invites, can get back. Oh, they can't get back in now. There's 2 minutes remaining, so if they was to come back, they wouldn't be getting in the session now. But here comes Peaceful and Dan, or Fury, over the line. You've really, Kelly, in these short qualifying sessions now, it was obviously 10 minutes normally, it's now 5 for this one. Really got to get a move on in this second session. Yeah,
it's like an old school Formula 1 qualifying a little bit, because you're really only going to get 1, maybe 2 shots at this. You got to get your tyres up to temperature as well, because you come out of the pits with stone cold tyres in this game. So you have to get your tyres up to temperature to start with, and then put a hot lap in. You know, and make it count. So it's a bit old school for these guys now. There's no time to build up to a quick lap. You've just got to get out there and get on with it. So we'll see how in a few moments how those times come up. I think I don't know if Peaceful is the first man who's going to get across the line to put a time in. But look, we're a minute and a half already. We haven't got a time recorded yet, so it's going to be a bit of a rush to the end. That's for certain, sure.
It really is, and it's about a minute 32 to a minute 34 for a quick lap here. As you see, Sutty at 1 minute 33, Fury 1 minute 34 at the minute. They will both get second runs. Everybody's only really going to get 2 runs here. So that's Peaceful and Dan who's going to get another run in as well. Phil, obviously the last one to qualify. Welsh here in the 1 minute 36, so they'll all get 2 runs. So it's pretty much a 2-lap shootout here, as Peaceful is about to finish his lap, and then Dan will be the last man to cross the line. Here we go then. What is Peaceful going to put on the grid? Goes up into P1 at the moment, and Dan only good enough for 3rd place. Sutty must have had a problem, because here goes his second lap. He's out of it. In the pits he goes, so he's not going to get a lap in. Yes. The only G in the chat, good luck people. Maybe he is happy with that, but maybe then again he might have had a problem. We didn't see what had happened, which will mean Fury will be the next man over the line. So if we can quickly jump to Fury, I wonder. Yep, here he is. Hislop chicane. So Fury, Welshie, Phil,
out wide.
Peaceful, and then on Orthodubs to do a lap. Oh, Fury looks like he's just struggled
All
through
over
his
the
laps
shop.
of Nickelbrook. Yeah. So that could really have spelled the end for his lap. Phil and Welshie in the pits as well. So maybe problems for them too, not improving on their lap times. But for Fury, he's still going. What can he do? So Fury and Fury, Peaceful, and then on Orthodubs. Can Peaceful take his first pole of the season? Unlucky for Dan, it could be. But at Dan, still only 2/10. He needs to find more time on Peaceful, depending on if Peaceful's up. Oh, and Fury.
Fury's dropped it.
Yeah, there goes that one. So the next man really
it.
to watch is Peaceful Explosion, as he's come just through Nickelbrook now, up Clay Hill, towards Druids we go. And that Mercedes-Benz really now has to be on it, so does the Porsche behind.
It's a bit slippery through that last corner, a bit of opposite lock for Peaceful, as he now all he's got to do is nail it all the way to this last corner, get round here. Car goes a bit light as you come over the top there. Is he going to go quicker on this one? We're about to find out.
He does, yes, but what can Dan do?
He does.
Oh, we don't know.
What did Dan do? Good question.
He went pole by
just
under a tenth. So Dan and Peaceful Explosion will be on the front row of the grid as the same order as last time for them too. Sooty will start third with Fury fourth, Phil fifth, Welshie sixth. Now for the reverse grid draw. Little Eat seventh, Gary eighth, Monkey Boy ninth, Big Boy Brazier 10th, Andy 11th, D-Biggs 12th, Emo Guy 13th, and Mazda 14th. Hopefully, the levels continue straight away. We have got the same race weather, so don't worry about that one. The race weather is still the same. But hopefully now these guys are ready. And the game lets us get away first time of asking here.
Absolutely. Keep your comments coming in throughout this race. The only G putting a comment on. Good luck, people. Yeah, Monkey Boy's doing really good with your car. He's sending it around quite nicely, G. So don't worry, your car's in good hands.
Go on, sorry.
I was just going to say, as we just get ready now to sync up, as you can see, it's raining. And we believe it showers, so this could give some interesting choices on tyres here. Only 20 laps, mind, so you know it's yeah, you might be able to hang on through the showers. We'll see how the race pans out. If you've been watching all the way through the stream this evening, you'll know that being at the back where Mazda is, an Emo Guy, isn't the end of the world. Things can turn around real quickly round here through other people's mistakes.
Indeed, it can. Emo Guy sort of started their race one and came through to get second place in the race, so it's not the end of the world for him.
No, indeed, and again, we've said it before, it's a tight track. It's a favourite with British fans. British Touring Car comes here a lot, and if you follow us regularly, you know that we're all British Touring Car fans. Only 78 days, 11 hours, 11 days, 78 days, 11 hours, 20 minutes and 26 seconds until the start of the season at Thruxton, which
You've
I
got
have
tickets. Yes, you have tickets for. And I tell you what, I've never been as excited for a season as this one, because I think we all kind of want to see the racing get back to normal and the fans be there, as we're all syncing up now and ready. The lights start to come on the cars, and there's 3 cars with lights on. Gary's gave us a flash. We're underway now, and it looks like the start will resume, although a bit of a jump start. Oh, Peaceful's had it off. Easy Fury, Peaceful's on his roof. He's bouncing all over the place, and there's a lot of cars caught up in a wet start there. And what carnage off the line, Kelly. Peaceful was bouncing around all over.
Peaceful, Emo Guy. Both had horrendous starts and were bouncing all over the place. They're probably going to have whiplash from just being bounced around in that car. They had an horrendous start. But look, this is give Dan an absolute free run to have a second in the third corner.
Not just Dan, his team. His Fury's off was right behind. I was just about to say FU Racing. What a start for them, boys. He's going to try and fight back over Little Eats, but Little Eats looks like he's got that one done and in the pan. Mazda, did he get caught up in that? Because he's now dropped to last. Has he had problems at the start as well? What a chaotic start off the line. Absolutely mental.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. Certainly saw Peaceful going sideways first. I don't know if he just lost it on acceleration, just started the back end, stepped out, or he got nudged or whatever. We'd have to look back over the stream and try and work out who instigated that. but it reminds me of a Formula 1 race in Spa many years ago in the 90s. There was cars all over the place. As I say, hard to know who instigated, but let's have a look, see what's what. Little Leach, the big winner. I mean, he was back in 8th, wasn't he?
He was, yeah. Oh, Phil very wide at the exit to Druids. He was 8th, the first man who couldn't qualify. He's really gained up into P2, so a good start for him. Fury's up into 3rd, D-Big's 4th from the back, Monkey Boy's 5th from the back. So Bezier sort of halfway down. Andy was halfway down as well. But what a chaotic start. Sooty, Welshie, Fury's in the pit, so he must have had damage early doors.
Yes, Fury's in the pits, so he's got problems. Dream start for Daniel. Out in front with 3.5 seconds as we go just into lap 2.
Look who else is in the pits. Sorry there, Kelly. Look who else in the pits. Gary again. Not the start to the race that Gary would have wanted then. Peaceful as well. Has made it into. I'm not surprised he's in the pits. He was on his roof, on his side, bouncing along the start straight. So 4 drivers in at the end of lap 1. Fury's managed to get away. Mazda seemed to... I don't know what happened with Mazda there. He's not pitted, so clearly feels all right. Fury's come out not far behind him, so interesting to see that. But the rain still falls here at Oulton Park. We're on lap 2 of 20. Long way to go. And what is going to happen?
Yes, indeed. Yeah, well, yes, indeed. What is going to happen? Because... that's it was that big boy, Lucky Boy Brazier.
Lucky Boy Brazier.
Lucky Boy Brazier is hassling the back of D-Biggs here. Although he goes a little bit wide, I don't think he'll lose a lot with that. There's a bit of runoff, kind of netting kind of stuff that just there on that corner that keeps you honest, and must be hellish in the spray. Let's.
Peaceful Explosion in the chat just said I start okay, and then the rear wheel started to spin. Don't think I got hit, but need to look 30 front, 30 engine, and 100 rear. And we always sort of will Peaceful on in these races, but it never seems to go his way. Emo Guy has just came out the pits. Gary and Peaceful are going to be a lap down here. Gary 100% on the rear, 70 on the front. This is going to be a difficult race. He put that was going to be a difficult race, but I'm not going to pull him up on his. That was a difficult first lap, he should say. I thought he was trying to say this is going to be a difficult race. I wasn't going to pull him up on his wording, his wording, but I'll let him off.
We're not school teachers, you know.
Kieran has just sent me a replay of the start, so let's see this start on the phone that Kieran has sent me. Oh yeah, Peaceful just seemed to light up the rear end. He seemed to get a good initial launch. Sooty went straight left onto the grass off the line, and Peaceful got away well, but then Oh, what's happened to Dan?
Dan's dropped it. He must have dropped it because he's 1.8 behind Little Leach. So I don't know what happened to Dan. I don't know if he had a bit of a moment or what. And I was going to praise him. I was going to praise him that he had his first win in a GT3 Porsche in the wet.
He did at Bruno, Simplay Motorsport last season at Simplay, as Little Leach finding it hard at Hislop chicane. Little Leach went straight on. Emo Guy went very wide, so all a bit wet at the moment. Dan took his first race in these colours in the Porsche at Simplay Motorsport at Bruno, his first sim race win, he tells us. And I tell you what, this is now a very tricky race for a lot of these guys. Emo Guy already lapped, Gary and Peaceful already lapped, Fury 11th, Mazda's weighed his way up to 9th now, past Welshie as well, but it's only showers, and these showers have brought a bit of excitement. Well, a bit more, should I say. We had excitement race 1, they brought even more excitement race 2.
Absolutely, and this is only lap 3 of this race. We've still got a long way to go yet, and a lot of action still to play out. Again, this is back to all the way back. This is
D-Biggs! Andy! D-Biggs and Andy have dropped it. Emo Guy's back in the pits again. D-Biggs and Andy have dropped it coming through turn 1. They both point in the right direction. There goes Sooty Apex flying past. Mazda as well looks like he could get past the pair. Oh no, D-Biggs is gone and he's too far back to gain anything on Andy. As the showers, have they stopped? No, it looked like they'd stopped. No, they're still falling. But what what a chaotic start.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's a bit of a deja vu for Andy and D-Biggs, isn't it? They kind of spun together in race 1. They want to stay away from each other. But, the rain is still coming down, and there is still plenty of spray as we look at Andy's trying to have a look down the inside of Sooty. but it'd be brave to go down the inside of there, especially as tight as that chicane is. But
and this shows how tight this circuit is, Kelly, because Andy's looking but can't stick that nose up the inside, and Sutty doing everything he needs to do. Go on, Little Each, says NJ. Bethy and Duffin, Little Each, you need to do something. Your brother is pants. I think you follow the wrong brother, Beth. The other one's doing the business at the moment. Took a win last week, and he's in the lead of this second race here. Sutty a bit slow out of Nickelbrook, and look at Andy. He's getting the run up towards Clay Hill and Druids. He'll be on the outside for Druids, so he wants to get that move done before he gets in there. Who's going to be braver on the brakes? Is it Andy? Is it Sutty? Sutty touches the grass, and Andy gets that one stopped. No, he doesn't. He's very, very wide. Sutty's wide as well. And look at who's benefited from that. Mazda says thank you very much. 2 places. Oh, who's that? Phil was off in the background as well. So Mazda 3 places in one corner. Oh,
it's all coming to Mazda again, isn't it?
I tell you what,
Lucky Boy Brazier. It's going to be Lucky Boy Mazda.
I tell you, lottery ticket on the Euro Millions tomorrow if I was that man. Oh, Monkey Boy's had a spin. Exit to turn 1. Monkey Boy's lost the car on the exit to turn 1. He's facing the wrong way. Gets going now after Sutty passes him. Where's Phil to come flying past? We don't know. He wasn't past him. No, still isn't past him. So it's tricky for these guys out here at the moment as the rain still falling. It just looks like it's starting to brighten up.
Does look like it's starting to clear up a little bit.
Yeah, but a few spots still falling.
We know it's going to sooner or later. It is going to dry up. Showers is what we've got forecast for this race. And one thing about the virtual world is that when you punch the weather in at the beginning, that's usually what you get. You know, there's it's going to happen. So we're wet at the moment, but it will dry out. The rain will stop at some point through this race, and we're quarter distance already. So still all to play for. And still plenty of action to happen. So don't stand up. Don't go and make a cup of tea. Don't go anywhere because it's all going off at Oulton Park.
It is all going off. What you do need to do is hit that thumbs up button now and get this video to as many likes as possible. What a start to this race. It does look like the rain is just easing up even more. In fact, if not stopped, I can only see a spot or two now. And it's going to now, the interesting thing here is it's now going to dry. So the guys who may have a bit of damage, have they held out and waited for it to dry? Andy really hassling the back of this Audi of Mazdas. Dan's within a second, a little each as well. Big Boy Brazier's up to third, or both very wide out the exit to Lodge. But Dan just starting to creep back up onto the back a little each. The trouble is now as well, Kelly, is if a few puddles have started to form offline, you don't want to go offline to overtake because it's narrow as it is, but if you start to go offline and have a look, hit a puddle, that could spell disaster.
Absolutely, and it could all go very wrong very quickly, as we've seen already this evening on this Internationl track at Oulton Park. Daniel is definitely catching Little Leach, and Little Leach got a little squirrely under the brakes and manages to I thought he was going into that tyre barrier then, but he managed to keep it all together. But Daniel's got even closer now, and they're coming up. Oh, Peaceful's got out of the way. Nice move from Peaceful. I was about to say that they're going to come up on traffic, but Peaceful got right out of the way. But certainly Dan pressuring the back of Little Leach at the moment. This is for the race lead, of course.
It is. Big Boy Brazier not too far behind these two as well, as the track's starting to dry every moment now. And Dan at the moment, look how bumpy Oulton Park is. Look how wet and greasy it is. Little Each very wide. Oh, and he keeps it somehow on the track. And Dan just has to apply a bit more brake. Now we're going to come down in towards Lodge Corner. Up the inside, this is where Matt Neal and Shedden had their moment. Dan and Little Each, nothing from them two, but great respect shown from the two Porsche drivers. And Dan back in the lead of this one as we start lap 7.
Yes, indeed, and that was much cleaner than Honda drivers for sure, but of course it would be, you know. So Daniel with a great move down the inside, Little Each giving Daniel plenty of space and the respect that was needed, and this is the way we like to play, isn't it? This is what sim racing is about. You know, if you want to go and smash cars up, go in the lobby with all the other Muppets. You know, if you want to race properly, sign up for one of these events here at Simplay or
Motive
very
Racing.
Good friends at Motive. Yeah, absolutely. Any of these you want to get involved and be part of the action, you can. We're open to everyone. All you got to do is just drive like you've got to pay for it. That's all you got to do.
It is.
You know, drive like you're picking up the bills. Mind you, saying that,
Saying that, have you not seen the start of this race? If you missed the start of this race, Kelly, because Peaceful was on his roof and bouncing around.
Yeah. Peaceful's done about 60 K's worth of damage tonight. But you know what I mean. I know what you're saying. Yeah, look who's getting involved in this battle. It's Lucky Boy Brazier is really pulling in Little Leach now, so he's got some pace. I bet he's so thankful that he's back in this race because he's obviously.
Little Leach! And Dan! Both Porsches lose it coming through Druids, and Lucky Boy Brazier, how is your luck? Into the lead of this race, and for Little Leach and Unorthodox just lost the rear of the Porsche coming through Druids corner, and that sent them both round on a drying track that's going to be forever dry in every lap here. Jamie Brazier leads this one by 6 seconds after Little Leach and Unorthodox pirouetting together. Neil in the chat, get the slicks on, Gary. Why not? Nothing to lose from P11.
Sorry, mate. What an absolute disaster for those two, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? And how quickly things could change.
Andy, a bit of a
Andy
twitch.
All over the shop.
Oh dear, he's done well to hold that.
He has. I'm just desperately trying to find my phone to message Jamie Brazier to pick me 6 random numbers.
6 random numbers.
So I can go and do the lottery tomorrow night, because he has got the absolute luck of the Irish this evening. He wasn't even in this race. And now he's 7 seconds ahead when we come up to half distance.
He's well in front. The track, you see less spray on the track at the moment, so the track's starting to dry nicely. Yeah, no spray fact there. Monkey Boy in the pits, Fury in the pits again, not on his way in the wet here after a good start. Welshie and Gary battling down the order. In fact, Welshie's just come into the pits at the end of the 7th lap of this race. And for Gary, damage limitation in the chat. NJ saying, why not put the slicks on, Gary? It's an option. It's nothing to lose on a drying circuit. It can only get better. As Little Leach and Dan, how's your look through Druids this time, boys? Because you don't want to have a repeat of last time. Although Dan, I thought looked like he was going to end up going wide there, but he's done well. Yeah. But Little Leach all over the back of him, and D Biggs in the background will smell a bit of this one. And there's Mazda not far off the back of him, and Little Leach looking at Lodge. Can't get that move done there. He's going to have to set him up for down the start straight. Although he looks a bit too far back for me at the moment. Lap 9 we're on. These two coming to start it. And on board Little Leach, the track is dry. Yeah, it's drying. An absolute gem here. Oh, look at that puddle on the apex of Tier 1. Don't want to hit that. As well, she's now just gone a lap down. Andy's in the pits.
I don't think it's time for slicks yet, do you?
No, but if you're Gary and you've got nothing to lose in this one...
I get it. I get it totally.
Oh, look at the run. Little Leach has got through Cascades on Dan, and he's going to pull to the outside.
Go round the outside. No, he ain't going to go round there, is he?
No, I think he's backed out to that one. Oh, Dan just applying a bit of brakes and not having the confidence of maybe just to lift off and coast round. Applying a bit of brake there was Dan. You see the puddles on the apex of the corners. And especially on that corner, bit of camber on that corner, like you said in race 1 and quali 1, the puddles are just going to end up on the apex.
Absolutely, and I wonder if Dan just touched the brakes just to give Little Leach something to think about on that corner, or it's Daniel thinking that way. Do you know what I mean? You see the brake lights come on in the car in front of you. You automatically not panic, but you're cautious. Did he do that for well, or is it just a confidence? I think it's probably a confidence with Daniel. I don't think he's playing games. I think he's just trying to hold on to that car best he can on a drying track. A 911 GT3, rear wheel drive, on this track.
Oh, Dan's wide. Dan's wide at Druids. He's managed to get that back in. How has he managed to keep that from going off? Oh, he's done well.
Very well, I would say.
Very well, indeed he has. Yeah. D Biggs has got Mazda crawling over the back of him, just behind these two. I tell you what an absolute epic race here. We're halfway through. We've still got 10 laps to go. We've got Little Leach and Dan fighting. We've got Mazda and D Biggs fighting further back. There is Welshie a lap down in P10. It's a strange one.
Yes, indeed, and this is the joy of, again, we keep banging on. It's thin track, it's drying track now. Yeah. This is what's throwing up the action, and let's face it, from our point of from us watching and us commentating, it's great racing. For those 14 guys on track, it must be an absolute nightmare, an absolute handful. You know, these things must be like handling a squealing pig. You know, not a race car. It's but it makes for great racing.
It does make for great viewing indeed, it really does. These two gaining on the back of Little Leach and Unorthodox. Little Leach actually just gave Dan a bit of breathing space according to timing screens. Yeah, there's an emo guy in between them, so Little Leach lost a bit of time to Dan, and Masters sort of dropped off the back of D Biggs a bit here, going into this halfway through lap 10 of this race. In
the chat, Matt, just the only G slicks are faster in the rain. Now, I wouldn't want to question G's expertise on this game, being a 32 or 33 times world champion on this championship records on this game and multiple titles. But are you sure Slick's faster in the rain? You know,
did you not see the start? Unless Peaceful was on the... Oh, well, Dan's in the pits. Little Leach has followed him in. So them two are pulling the trigger. P10 for them two into the pits for them then. So D-Biggs and... Big Boy Brazier continues on his way. D-Biggs second, Master third. These two coming into the pits. Now, tyre change, surely. Has to be. Has to be a tyre change for me. Dan's away. That seemed relatively quick. Craig's still there. Have they changed Dan's tyres? That seemed a bit quicker than Little Leach's for me.
It did.
Now, unless Little Leach has fixed a bit of damage at the same time. Yeah, this is going to be the question. Let's see the lap times come down. Dan, flash twice for slicks, flash once for wets, pal, if you are listening. But it is interesting to see what tyres these two are going to be on. Andy has jumped Little Leach. As Andy's pitted, he's jumped Little Leach. Little Leach's pit stop was that long. So, interesting one here. We are just keeping our eyes out for Dan's lights. He might not be listening to the stream.
The stream is a little bit behind. The stream now, Daniel's just come out of the pits on the stream, so because there is a little bit of delay for those people who are watching going, what is he talking about? There is a little bit of a delay from what we're saying to it actually hitting
that's
the stream.
Fury.
Is that Fury?
That's Fury, Fury. Is he parked to wait for Dan? Hopefully he gets that car back going. Because he's got to get to lap 15 if he's wanting to score points here. We're on lap 11. Big Boy Brazier pits at the end of lap 11.
And Daniel dropped it again.
Oh, he has dropped it again. And them tyres, they've got grooves. They've got grooves on. So Dan appears to be that he's on the wet tyre. Now, Dan had a problem the other week where it wouldn't change his tyres. Big Boy Brazier and D-Biggs and Mazda as well in the pit. So everybody has now done the mandatory pit stop. If you see anyone else in the pits, it's probably for a change of tyres. Mazda's mechanics have brought out the wets. I don't think he wants them on, boys. But nevertheless, cracking job. Keep going. But yes, if you remember rightly, a couple of races ago, Dan had a problem with the game not changing his tyre. And he's got... Well, he's carrying on going here, is Dan. So he's keep going. He's 7 seconds behind Jamie. That was about the gap it was last time anyway. But Mazda seems to have jumped D-Biggs in the pits here.
Yes, indeed.
Oh, and look at where Andy rejoins. Side by side with the guy he was fighting with before the pit stop, Mazda. And Andy's come out just behind Mazda once again. But they're on the back of Dan. So we've got 4 cars here. And this will tell us what tyre Dan is on, because look at the closing speed of the pack. They're all coming at him, but there's nowhere to get through. Oh, this could be an expensive pile. Yeah, this could be an expensive pile up here.
Daniel in big trouble as he goes deep on that hairpin. He's on the outside now, and he's being pushed left out, hanging out to dry out there as Mazda goes round him. And he's getting interested in this as well, as Daniel gives a little tap as he goes through.
He's fighting.
Are these guys still on slicks and Daniel's on wets? We don't really know. But
he's going to look up the inside. He's going to have a look up the inside in towards his lap. Mazda can't cover it off. He has now, though. He's got the job done. Yeah. Dan gets it stopped in. Dan is surely on the wets, because look how much he struggled. Look how much he's lost to Mazda going through the Hislop chicane and Knickerbrook. He's lost quite a couple of tenths. Quite a couple of tenths. Good English, Matt. He's lost a couple of tenths there to Mazda. Has Andy all over the back of him here then. D-Biggs now joining in this party.
Yes, indeed, and I'm waiting for Andy to put a Matt Neal move on Dan in a minute and give him a little tap to say, out the way, sunshine, as they as we still
Don't know
think
what
that
you
Dan is on the wets, and he's looking in trouble. That's for certain, sure, isn't he?
He is looking in
Andy
trouble.
gets really close now.
He's still going though, so clearly feels that he can get to the end at the moment if he still is on the wet. So Andy's pretty much
there it
giving
is.
him a kiss for good luck. There you go, Dan. One for the road, but move out my way now, please, buddy, because I'm chasing that Audi down in front of you.
Yeah.
Oh, the rear of Dan. He's gone. And wide
he's
it
gone, he's gone.
cascades, and Little Leach and D Biggs get through as well. And for unorthodox, how unlucky that is. The wet tyres just starting to run out of grip. There is Sooty Apex. He'll be absolutely laughing because he can say at the end of this one he's beat Gary on the wheel. He's a minute in front of Gary. So for Gary to beat Sooty, that's a tough job. But Little Leach here on the back of Andy, with D-Biggs on the back of both of them. And this is D-Biggs and Andy close together again. Oh, these two will only start pirouetting in a minute. And as we've seen twice in this, twice tonight already. But Mazda up into Peter. Not a bad night for Mazda.
No, a very good night for Mazda indeed. He's had a cracker, and I'm sure he was, I'm sure he would have liked to have been on the right shift at the beginning of the season.
Yeah.
Because he would have been running away with it by now if he had this kind of form. Up into P2. Lucky Boy Brazier is still your man out in front, and as I said, if you've got any lottery numbers you want doing, he's your man, because he's had the absolute best of luck this evening right from the very start. When he got booted from the session, and we had to restart the session anyway.
One man you don't want to ask for lottery numbers is Peaceful Explosion, that's for sure.
No. Yeah, poor old Peaceful. We keep waiting every week. He shows great pace and great speed, but just never kind of put it together, which is such a shame. And we're looking forward to the night where he does put it together.
We are indeed. We're on lap 14 of 20. Guys in the chat, 22 people watching. Get that thumbs up button hit. Also subscribe if you are new. But most importantly, get your vote in for driver of the day. I'll get mine and Kelly's opinion in just a moment when the lap race comes towards an end. But for now, get your vote for driver of the day in. And if I'm right in thinking, Gary's been lapped by Jamie again, or he's about to be lapped by Jamie here. There's Gary on track. There's Welshie for 10th. Where's Jamie on circuit?
Let's have a butchers.
Oh, Jamie's already lapped Gary. So a sight you don't see too often. Gary 131 championship leader and defending pro champion has been lapped in this one. Track map, you see there the blue dots. Yep, the blue dots have been lapped by the leaders. The white dots are the guys on the lead lap at the moment then, and Jamie Brazier is about to lap another car, it would seem to be. Who it is, we're not too sure yet. Now, it's Fury. Fury's struggling in that Porsche.
Right out of the way.
He's got a lot of damage that comes. Surprised he's not been in the pits yet to sort it out. Jamie,
he might as well. He's 8 minutes down, so
Or is he just trying to get to the 15th lap here to make sure that he scores points? Kieran Argent in the chat saying Mazda for driver of the day. We'll get mine and Kelly's opinion in a moment. Well, she's gone back in, so is that for a set of slicks? Let's wait and see. But so far, Jamie, Mazda, Andy, the times are starting to tumble. Little Leach as well. D Biggs all in the 1 minute 35s. Gary, in fact, is in the 1 minute 34s with a 1 minute 34.6. So 7/10 quicker than his brother Little Leach, who was the second fastest man on track last lap. So the Leach Motorsport boys are starting to put the lap times in. Joe as well says Mazda for driver of the day. Although he looks quick, Little Leach, D Biggs looks a bit quicker at the moment.
He does. He's looking very racy. And he's looking very racy, giving Little Leach a hard time in the identical Porsches, the 911 GT3, which is a car I actually want in real life. But I want a lot of things, to be fair.
Yeah,
I don't think I'm going to get any of them. So
I'd love the lottery winning, so I might have to give Jamie a ring after this one.
Yeah, I'm going to give Jamie a shout afterwards, do the lottery, and then I'll be out to buy myself.
Then you can have your Porsche.
Yeah.
Little Leach! He had a bit of a snap at the end of Nickelbrook there, and that's allowed D-Biggs to fly past. Now, I did notice on board D-Biggs, there is a bit of a puddle at the exit to Nickelbrook, and I wonder if Little Leach just caught it. There's still a bit of standing water about. Clear, dry line. D-Biggs has now had a moment, and Little Leach is going to get the place back. It's a bit of to and fro between the two of them.
Yes, it is. You remember that bit where I said I want one?
Yeah.
Yeah, don't bother. I ain't gonna bother now.
Nah, I'd get a Honda, mate. Get yourself a nice Honda Civic Type R.
No such thing. No such thing as a nice Honda.
There
Apart
is.
from the lawnmower, of course. Lawnmower, great lawnmower. Fantastic generator.
Look at that puddle on the apex of turn 1. Sends D-Biggs
innit?
all sorts of wide there. That's a big puddle there then. So that's something that the guys are going to have to watch out for. Big boy Brazier still leading this race. 13 seconds is that gap, but Mazda was a whole 1.6 seconds quicker last lap. So if Jamie had a mistake, he needs to get rid of them because he won't want to make too many before Mazda's on the back of him. 14 seconds that gap now. Andy not too far off the back of Mazda. Just looking down there, just looking down the pack. Emo guys, times are in the 35s now as D-Biggs round wide. Monkey Boy doing a good job, P7. And Dan is definitely still on the wet tyre because look at how much Monkey Boy has reeled him in. And in fact, he's going to try around the outside on the left-hand kink. He's a brave man and just runs onto the grass. And Dan did everything right there. And I cannot believe Monkey Boy actually kept it going, but Dan is definitely on the wet tyre, and Monkey Boy has definitely got the superior grip.
Yes, Monkey Boy had a little bit of a slap there, really, because you were never going to make that work round the outside, but he got away with not too much penalty from it, as it were, because he managed to keep it all on track. But it was optimistic for sure. But he's still in the hunt, and as we say, we think Daniel's still on wets with 4 laps to go. It's not. I mean, he's in a points. A 6th place is a good points paying position. So Daniel would just be holding on to it and trying to take it. To take it home.
Yeah, and it's more points for Dan the better at the moment as well. Obviously, after losing all points from his last round, scored 19 last week. He's got 7 so far after race 1 today. He'll want a few more to take with that. Dan really looking forward to next week at Long Beach, a circuit he enjoys, but he's struggling. It obviously didn't change his tyres and he's struggling here, but he's going to get to the end with the looks of it. That puddle on the inside's helping his tyres. It's just cooling them down nicely. And
that just saved his life around that corner.
This is testament to this circuit and how tight it is, because Dan... Fury needs to get out of the way. Yeah, Fury's still going around. Dan is on wet tyres, pulling off to where the wet parts of the track still are, but it's that tight. Even though he's so slow compared to Monkey Boy and Sutty behind Monkey Boy, he can keep the position easily.
He's got track position. Yeah. Track position's everything. And as I said, it's not worth changing the tyres now to fall down the pack and lose track position. He'll never make it back.
I mean, where would he... If he had a tyre change now, he'd come out around Phil, in front or just behind Phil, I reckon. He's 20 seconds in front of Phil. So around Phil, I'd say. But then... if it changes his tyres, if the game doesn't want to change his tyres again, then he's wasted all that time for nothing. And alright, he could still end up just in front of Phil by the end of this race, but why not try and fight it out? There's still parts of the track that are wet, and keeping them tyres cool at the moment. Mazda's caught up to Jamie Brazier by 3 seconds, so that gap's down to 11. Bethany and Duffin, Adam for driver of the day. Adam is Mazda, just to let people know. And there goes Dan.
Daniel goes
very
wide again,
wide. He's done it again. And he's managed to get across to defend his line. A job done. Dan is doing well here at defending, and I'm interested to see if we can just pan out. He's made a mistake there. What a move. Monkey Boy tucks it underneath Dan, and the superior traction out the corner for Monkey Boy. Actually, no, I say the superior traction. They're side by side. But Monkey Boy inside should have that one done into turn 1. Does have that one done into turn 1. Dan just got a bit of a wiggle coming through the final corner, and Monkey Boy did well to tuck it underneath and get that move done. He
did. He sent that lovely. He tucked it into the apex and pinned it and got round reasonably clean. I was swapping from camera to camera, and they were absolutely side by side as they went down the start-finish straight. But look, see, Monkey Boy is just pulling away now. Yeah. So Daniel's got to now start worrying about Sooty Apex.
Sooty Apex. Next man. On the wheel as well tonight. We've not seen his pad come out because he's not been in the top 5, so we've not seen the pad, so he has stayed true to... Bought a new deck chair he has today for his wheel and his stand, so new deck chair.
A deck chair?
Yeah, he's not on a proper sim rig, he's on like a stand for his wheel, and then he's got like a deck chair that can lay back a little bit, sort of thing.
Oh, right, okay. Well, I've never heard of a deck chair being used. Me myself, it's the sofa for me, and I know Dan has got the driver's seat out of my van.
Lovely.
He it's not a normal van seat, it's more of a bucket seat, so
Yeah.
but it's one that came out of my van. But yeah, deck chair, well, yeah, maybe he's going to knot up his hanky and sit there with his hanky on his
Well,
on
he's
his
bringing
head
the
in
deck
his
chair to Long Beach next week, isn't he? He's
Absolutely,
he'll be
in his
chilling
board
in the
shorts.
he'll be chilling in the California sun, that's for sure. He's absolutely going to be loving it around
Yes.
around Long Beaches. Can he get close to unorthodox? Big boy Brazier though is on his 19th lap. He's about to lap Welshie as well, and he's going to be in for the win here. He looks like he's hit something though.
Yeah, a little, yeah.
Bit of a cracked windscreen and the bonnet slightly
Yeah.
lifted. But
I
he's
think that was early doors because
right.
yeah, I think that damage was on the car when we cut to him, whatever it was, 10 laps ago, 5 laps ago, whatever. That damage was there, so I think that was early doors for Jamie. But he's going along nicely, 12 seconds ahead of Mazda. Mazda is again, going on really nicely.
Yeah.
Just driving his own race. Andy, a couple of seconds back now. So
a pair of P3s
all a bit
for
static at the moment.
It is a bit, but a pair of P3s for Andy today, and a pair of P2, a P1 and a P2 for Mazda as Jamie's looking to lap Phil. Then Phil down in 9th place, and we're on the final lap of this race. And Jamie just needs to bring the car home. Phil moves to the inside. There's Gary behind, who's gaining on Phil, maybe for a 9th place. And as Phil lets Welshie through as well as Jamie.
Yeah.
He didn't need to slow down for the second Lamborghini, Phil, just the first. But nonetheless,
That's right.
it's kept Welshie out of the way. But Gary closing in on Phil. Can Gary get that place within the final lap? Jamie just needs to keep this together. D Biggs gaining on the back of Andy. So has Andy had a bit of a mistake towards the end of the last lap? This man, though, out of Britain, and he's coming up towards his lap now. Got Emo Guy just ahead of him. As Gary, look, he's going to look for a move on Phil just behind. And it looks like he's got that one done. Yeah, Phil looks like he's got damage on that car. So is Phil just settling for P10 because he let Gary through quite easy and here then. But up through Nickelbrook for the final time. This Fury's had another moment. If he's not made 50 laps, he's not going to score points here. That's not what he'd have wanted. Then he obviously only got 4 points last week. He's only got 2 points today, 13. So he needs good points.
13 minutes behind. He's still in race 1, isn't he?
I think so. Still in qualifying one. But for big boy Brazier here, lucky boy Brazier, because he may not have been in this race had it not glitched out last time, the first time of asking. But lucky boy Brazier will take a P1, and what a start, what an end to his night for Mazda though, who's going to claim driver of the day. Oh, actually, Kelly, who is your driver of the day?
I think it's got to be Mazda. Really, he's got a cracking performance this evening, first and a second.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Absolute cracking drive. Although I think we should have an honourable mention for Andy. Andy, third places.
Where is Andy? Where is the man? Coming across the line.
Yeah, coming across the line now. Two third places. That's consistent.
It is very consistent.
In his own admission, it isn't his type of thing really. Like prefers a front wheel drive car, so that's good effort from Andy. So definitely worth a mention. Little Leach doing better than his brother again this week.
Outscoring his brother, and I can say that D Biggs, Little Leach, and Deeks obviously took double points, didn't even score a point. Little Leach will get double points for his efforts, 2 5th places. D Biggs 6th and a 4th for his troubles. Monkey Boy, good night for the filler driver, a 5th and a 6th place. Dan has managed to hold off Sooty Apex for a 7th place on what looks to be the wet tyre. So a 7th place for Dan. Sooty Apex is going to cross the line in P8, with Gary coming already across the line a lap down, P9. Phil getting P10. Oh, put that in the wrong box there. So Sooty P8, Phil P10. Peaceful Explosion 13th place. Emo Guy's going to cross the line P14, P11, sorry.
P11,
so not where he'd have wanted to be. So just going to run you through the grid. If you just want to keep an eye out for fastest lap, Kelly, a lot of 34s there to look at. Welchie then will take P12 in that one, with Peaceful Explosion take P13. Fury got to lap 10, so we'll go to the admins as to whether he scores points or not in that race. Fastest lap, Kelly?
Mazda 34.1. Can't see anything better than that. 34.1. That'd be Mazda.
Yeah, so Mazda a fastest lap of the race then. Guys, hit that thumbs up button. just reading the comments. Master Driver of the Day, sorry everyone for the start. Not a good night at all. Keep going though, 3 laps down. Not happy, says Dan. Stupid weather change. Would not change my tyres. Something that, we said that, didn't we, Kelly? And it's something that's happened to Dan this season already. So while we just wait for some more comments to come in, just going to quickly rearrange the table. So Jamie goes up to P2 above G. D Biggs moves himself up into 4 after his double points, and a good night for him. Emo Guy drops to 5th with Little Each taking his double points. He moves up a place as well. Andy dropping down another place, but that is so tight between them 4. D Biggs to Andy is a space of 10 points, so not a lot in it. Sutty now makes the 100-point mark. Peaceful and Welshie. Welsh actually goes above his son by 2 points in that one. Mazda climbs above Deeks, Fury and Orthodubs already, but don't forget Mazda will have to take a drop score in this season. It will be his lowest score of the season, but he's on 46 points already, and that is Mazda on his own has scored more points than FU Racing as a team after 1 round. So not the start, FU Racing, not the start they'd have wanted at the minute, but obviously Mazda after his drop score will pretty much be 0 theoretically, and Dan and Fury will be whatever their drop scores are. Still with double points to take as well for them too. Constructors wise, class of 97 pull a couple more points back on Leaks Motorsport there. So a good night for everybody, and with 260 points left up for grabs in this one after the halfway stage, still everybody mathematically possible in both championships so far. Kelly, any final words?
No, another great night's racing here on Simplay. Fantastic. Looking forward to next week. Long Beach, one of my favourite tracks. A firm favourite with a lot of the guys here, so I'm looking forward to some great racing. Just a good night again. Thank you for everyone. All the guys taking part, yourself, Matt, and everyone watching. Thank you, guys. Join us again next week as we go again at Long Beach. Wednesday night Pro-Am. Thursday night pros.
That's the one. Wednesday night Pro-Am, 8 PM UK time. Tune in for that one. Evening race. So we've had our night races, we've got our day races, we've got an evening race. So the sun will set over the beach and we'll see the lovely lights of the California street circuit, as you will, and the beautiful scenery around there. Great night of racing. Thank you all for tuning in, hitting that thumbs up button and subscribing. Thanks for all the comments and messages to us. Appreciate that one. We'll be back live next Wednesday at 8 PM and next Thursday at 8 PM for the pro category. But from all of us here at Simplay Motorsport, thanks for taking part. We'll see you in the next one. Good night.
Thank you. Good night.
calling to say I calling to say I